and I would really appreciate it if you would stop Rob Taylor from blathering on and on.
Opinions expressed by talk show hosts, callers, or guests on the Rob Taylor Report do not necessarily represent the opinions of the hosting platform, subsidiaries, sponsors, or possibly anyone else on the planet or the known universe. From the tinfoil and lead-lined broadcast bunker on the beautiful southern coast of Oregon, it's the Rob Taylor Report. So strap yourself in. Your weekly political therapy session is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the nearly famous Rob Taylor.
Hey, Pierce County. Hello, Oregon. Hello, America and beyond. And thank you to all of you who are tuning in today. I almost want to say shame on you for tuning in. Do you see the weather outside? It's sunny outside. I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you from right here on out, you probably should go outside and enjoy the weather and just skip the podcast. I know I'm going against my best interest, but the fact is you can watch this podcast later. I don't know, but it is a beautiful damn day outside. And if I wasn't doing this right now, the Bandon High School baseball team is having a game at the park, just the caddy corner from me basically here. And my wife's over there right now with my granddaughter enjoying the game. And if I wasn't here, I could assure you I would be out there in this beautiful weather, soaking up the sun, because it's just an incredibly beautiful day out here. And we deserve it. We really deserve it. I mean, I lived in Texas and in the South, and boy, I've been through tornadoes and hurricanes, and usually a tornado will come in. And it starts, with really black skies, the blackest skies you've ever seen. They'll come in, and you know a tornado clouds when you see them. You grow up in Texas, tornado cloud when you see them, and they come in and they're dark and they're big and billowing, and you can just tell they're full of something, a world of hurt that's going to come out of the sky. And then it happens, a tornado will touch down and do all kinds of destruction. It will pull itself up and go away within about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've seen entire cities leveled in Texas within just 30 minutes, and the rest of the day was a beautiful sunny day. Here in Oregon, the storm starts about October, and it just continued until yesterday, April. So I don't know. It just seems, I often wonder, tornadoes are very damaging, but do they suffer as much damage, or do we suffer more damage because we have a more sustained serious weather occurring from, like I said, October till now? We have nonstop rain and storming occurring all that time. Whereas in Texas, you have the snow, you have the storming, but it's mostly sunny all the time. And other than these tornadoes who come in, these storms that tear down houses, I often wonder, do we pay more money in damages or in the Northwest, or are they paying more money in the tornado alley, the tornado belt there in the South? I often wonder if what the case is on price to price, how much we're paying for damages, because a lot of damage has been created. And so it's nice to have a sunny day. And if you are paying attention to things, I want to go over first the election, very important special district elections. And I know people are going, Rob, what's so important about special district? Who cares about the Hauser fire district? Who cares? Well, the people in Hauser care. Of course they do. And so there are a lot of districts. I'm not sure how many districts. Maybe we'll find out. I'm going to take you over here. Let me share a page. Let me see if I can share a page here. Set up my share screen, and oh, yep, there we go. There you go. All right. All of you can see that. That right there is the Coos County website, as you can see. And the reason I'm there today is we're going to be talking about the elections. If you want to find out more about the election, just Google Coos County government and this website will pop up. Go to this website, go over to departments. Right there's departments. Go down to county clerk because she's the one in charge of elections. This is the county clerk page, and it talks about the duties of office, blah, 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 all kinds of other stuff. Let me see if I can increase let me see if I get this up to about 125%. Yeah, for blind guys like me. Let me see. Okay, elections. So I'm at the county clerk's office, and I go over here to the left and hit the elections. It takes me to the elections page. I should have just hit the little plus sign and gone to the May 20th, 25th special district election. Not very far from today. This is, we less than 60 days, I think that is. And so we've got a lot a lot of business to get down to because the month of April and up until the 20th of May, we're going to be campaigning. And there is good reason to campaign, even though a lot of people, like I said, don't really give a damn much about special districts and special districts election. But if you go to the election page, here it talks about the May 20th, 2025 special district election will be certified no later than June 16th. Gosh, it only takes them that long to do that? Well, I guess so. They'll give you all kinds of information, political sign information that every campaign breaks. You can give out the most accurate political sign information, and every campaign will break it because nobody's in control of their signs. People will show up to your events, or they'll show up to the party headquarters. They'll pick up your signs, and then they'll put them everywhere and anywhere. I mean, I have seen my candidate signs or my signs for my issues end up 60 feet in the air in a tree. I've seen it. I mean, it's just wild, people, the way they put up their political signs. But they actually here on the county clerk's website here in the elections, they actually give you information on political signs, a notice of public certification, a notice of election reporting, scheduling, observer announcement. I don't know if we have any observers who are going to be there this year. It's a very important thing. And if you are a Republican, you're concerned about election integrity, I would recommend you sign up to be an observer. I don't know where they're at this point, but you can sign up to be an observer for the election. Order of candidate names. I'm not going to need that. Notice of open positions. This may give me an idea here. This is the legal notice. Let me go ahead and increase that so you guys can see this. Let me make sure it's sharing. Yeah, it's sharing. Cool. Okay. So let me increase this a little bit more. Bloop, bloop, legal notice. And like I said, this is from the elections department. And I screwed that up completely. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if I can go up there. This is about the May 20th election, the election department of filing period. It talks about from February till March 20th, which just passed. Let's see. It goes up to the May 20th, 2025 special district elections. It talks about the open positions. And now I'm going to have to, reduce the size a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. And as you can see, there are a lot of open positions, and they don't tell you, let's count them. I don't know. Let me count them here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 special districts that are up for election, or at least by my count on this page. And like I said, this came from the elections department. All of you can get this. All of you should know where this is. And that's why I really like the ability to do this. I could never do this on the radio. And this was something I always wanted to be able to do on the radio, is to be able to show you guys where people like me go to find all this information. And so log of filed positions. This is the log we want. Yes, this is the log. And let me make sure it's sharing over there. Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. All right. We're going to go over the election. We're going to go over the candidates in the election. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up full screen. And I'm going to take down my banner here so you guys can get a good sight of this screen, because this is really important, the stuff that we're going to be going over, because every single year, someone comes up to me and asks me, who should I vote for in this district? Who should I vote for? And I feel just stupid when I have to say, well, I don't know. I don't know who you should vote for. And that's because, like I said, there are so many special districts. It's hard to know all the players in the districts. So I'm going to go over the first one. This is the Coos County Airport, position 2 and position 4. And as you can see, position 2, which is already held by Joe Benetti, is also filed by Joe Benetti. So that means who's going to win this race? Well, Joe Benetti. It's a foregone conclusion. Unless you were somebody who had a well-known name and you could run a write-in campaign and be successful at it, which are almost, write-in campaigns are almost never successful. There is no way that this guy, Joe Benetti, is going to lose. He's going to be in position 2 in the Coos County Airport. So what do I care? This is already first position because there's no challengers. Who gives a damn? Okay, position 4, Mike Collins and Brent Pales. I don't know either of these people, or if I do, I'm not remembering their names. So I'm going to have to find out who Mike Collins is and Brent Pales in Coos County Airport position 4, because this Coos County Airport is very significant in the fact that it eats up a lot of our tax dollars, and it makes a lot of decisions on things like urban renewal and enterprise zones. I believe there are, or that it does overlap one of the urban renewals. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that out. Either way, it does not matter. They're always voting on multi-million-dollar issues. So I don't know who Mike Collins is, and I don't know who Brent Pales is. But if you want to find out a little more about them, you notice how their names are linked. Well, in this, you can click that. And there you go. It'll tell you all about their filing form, SEL 190. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Okay. And so here we are. This is for the Coos County Airport District, Commissioner position number 4, Michael Collins. Mike Collins. Yep. And please don't make fun of Mike Collins' writing, because his writing is probably better than mine and most people I've seen. And he's a business owner. O'Neill's overhead doors. Wow. I might know Mike Collins. O'Neill's overhead doors. Well, just the fact he's a business owner, that's already piqued my curiosity. See what you can find out by digging into this stuff. Let's go down. Let's see. He's gone to 2 years of junior college, Coos County Airport District Commissioner, prior government experience. So I guess he's already on there, which is interesting. That's what we can find out about that candidate. So let's look at the other candidate. Let's go back. Let me make sure it's still sharing. Perfect. You can see the names. Brent Pales. Let's go see who Brent Pales is. Let's find out about this guy. Yeah, his writing is about as good as Mike's writing, but then again, I guess we shouldn't really judge that. Or should we? I don't know. I often think that, but then I've worked for doctors who can't write worth a damn, and yet they have saved lives. So I don't know. Let's see. Well, there's his email and his phone number. He's a dentist. So we already know he's knows how to dispense pain. Yes, he's obviously into dispensing pain. So I would have to find out more about this guy. Like I said, I have no reservations about him or the other gentleman. I don't really. If I do know them, I apologize to them for not remembering their name. But let's see. He went to the School of Dentistry. Well, he went to the School of Dentistry. I tried to be a dentist without going to the school, and it appears that seems to be problematic for some people. I don't know why. It was such a good deal. Why permits? Why let permits get in your way? Let's see. So he's been on the airport board for at least 6 years. So I don't know. I would have to find out who is on the board uh, right now, and then I would have to contact Mike Collins and Brent Pales, which I'm probably going to do, and see if they want to come on the show. See if they want to do a quick interview. Maybe I can get both of them on at the same time. We can talk about it. So let's go on to the next district because we got a lot of districts to cover. Coos County Transportation Area, or CAT. CAT, yes. This is going to be a position 1, Harper Thompson. Harper Thompson, well, I believe Harper's already on there, and Harper's an interesting character. Harper, let's check out his SEL 190 board of directors. Harper is very, very good. He was able to, or she, I'm not sure. Harper, I guess, could be male or female, right? I don't know. So, president of Voters of Tomorrow, Oregon. That sounds progressive, doesn't it? That sounds real progressive. Yes. Strategy director for Voters of Tomorrow, Oregon, and security field supervisor for Coos County Youth Sports. And if this is the person I'm thinking of, this person looks like they could be a security or field supervisor of youth sports. This was a pretty big person. Complete name of school and his education background. He's Marshfield. Harper went to Marshfield Senior High School, 12th grade. And once again, I'm not sure if Harper's male or female. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. It's all about the ideology. It's all about how are they going to vote? How is Harper going to vote? And since Harper isn't being contested, or the position that Harper's running for isn't being contested, it doesn't really matter because Harper's going to win. Harper's going to win, and that's just a sad fact. So let's go to position 2. Position 2, Phil Taylor and Simon Alonzo are both in that position. I know Phil, so I have to be straight out there. I know Phil. I've worked with him. He's part of the Neighborhood Watch Group. Really good guy. Really good guy. I'm going to be supporting Phil Taylor over Simon Alonzo. I don't know who Simon Alonzo is, but let's check out Phil Taylor's 190. Let's see here. Let's see what he's got here. Let me make sure it's still sharing, because sometimes it doesn't do that. It doesn't, it doesn't always share for me. And it says position 2 for Coos County Transport, Phil Taylor, security consultant, fleet management and maintenance. Let's see, Marshfield. He's graduated high school. Prior government experience, none. I already like this guy. This is the best answer. If you ever run and you don't have any experience, don't make up any bullshit. Just put the true answer. None. I have no experience in government, which means that Phil Taylor is more qualified than anyone else who has had experience in government. That's usually what I have found. That's just usually what I have found about people. That the people. I'll give you an example. There's a guy. Maybe you heard of him. His name is Donald Trump, and he had no political experience. Then in 2016, this guy who had no political experience decided to run for president, and he beat out a top-ranking Democrat candidate. Yeah, do you guys remember that? So sometimes people who have no political experience are better than anyone who has some political experience. Let's see what Simon Alonzo Jr. has here. Let's check out his 190. Let's see. Oh, Simon was good. Simon filled this out online like Harper did. That's always nice, because then you don't have to show people your bad writing skills. And by the way, I have bad writing skills myself. Let's see. He's president of Primal Investments Incorporated and director of operations of Eugene Lodging. Okay, market manager of Eugene Lodging, self-employed. Well, that's nice. He graduated at Marshfield. Maybe he was a classmate of Phil's. I don't know. Are you running against a classmate? That's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting stuff. But unfortunately for Simon, I know Phil Taylor, and I think he is a good conservative. I think he's an America First conservative. I think he's going to vote against taxes and against regulations. And on the cap, people go, well, yeah, but what rights can they take away on the Coos County Area Transportation Department? Well, let me tell you, there was another Taylor who used to sit on the CAT board, and that was Rod Taylor, our current commissioner. And I know that Rod Taylor, at one point in time, there was someone was trying to present an issue or make an issue of people having guns on the bus and not allowing people to come on the bus or to be on a bus if they had a gun. And of course, Taylor said, no, that's stupid. We don't violate people's Second Amendment. And just because you're taking a CAT bus from one place to another, you shouldn't give up your right to self-defense. And so that stopped right in its tracks. So you can still carry your gun on the Coos County Area Transportation bus, the CAT bus. And that's all due to Rod Taylor. So we had such good luck with a Taylor on the CAT district before. That alone would make me want to vote for Phil Taylor, which, by the way, Phil Taylor is not related to Rod Taylor, and he's not related to me, Rob Taylor. There's just a buttload of Taylors out here in Coos County. What can I say? We were one of the, I believe we were one of the founding families. If not, we came right after them. So yeah. Position 3, Shira Nelson. I wonder if she's related to Lance Nelson. I wonder. Well, maybe I'll have to call her and ask her. Shira. Is it Shira or Shira? I don't know. I may be pronouncing that wrong. Doesn't matter. She's going to win. No matter what, she's going to win because she is the only one who is filled out for position 3. So let's go to the Southwest Oregon Community College. Now, this is important because the Southwest Community College has a registered sex offender working for the college and working with young adults who could be 17, 18, 19 years old, maybe even younger. We don't know because we can't find out that information, and they're not, coming forth with it. And so we're going to have more about that. Chris Castleman, you all know Chris Castleman, and we're going to talk about him in a minute, but he has his own podcast that comes out every Wednesday. And this past Sunday, he actually did an interview with the mayor of Lakeside that was really, really good. So go to Concerned Citizens of Coos County, and you got to check out that video. But in position 2 here for Southwest Oregon Community College, you've got Marcia Jensen and Chris Castleman running for that position. And of course, I'm voting for Chris. I believe Marcia is already on the board, and the board has already proven that they really don't give a damn about the safety of children because they've got a sex offender working for them. And I have no problem with giving sex offenders after they have paid their time, after they have paid their dues and have gone to prison. I don't mind giving them a second chance, but that doesn't mean we're going to give them a second chance with children. No, you don't hire a bank teller after that bank teller has ripped off the bank. You don't rehire that bank teller and say, oh, we're going to give them a second chance. They've paid their dues. They paid restitution. They went to jail, but we're going to rehire that bank teller here. No, would you be insane? Yes, you would be insane. So I don't know why anyone would send this Marcia Jensen back to her position because, well, she isn't doing a very good job now. So yeah, I'm going to be supporting Chris Castleman. Let's see about Marcia Jensen. Let's find out a little bit about her on the 190. She's already, let's see, she's filling out for SWAC position, Board of Education. Well, they didn't block out her address. Usually they do that. Race and ethnicity, white. I would have put on there not applicable or what is it? What's the other one? Inappropriate. Inappropriate is really what I would put there. When it asks for my race and ethnicity, it says optional. I would put in there inappropriate. The question shouldn't be asked. That's insulting right there. I don't care what color you are. I only care how you're going to vote. You can be pink, purple, polka dotted. And if you are a conservative who's going to vote against taxes and vote against taking more of my rights, I'm going to vote for that pink, purple, polka dotted person. I don't care. So this whole thing about asking about race and ethnicity, but she was proud to put white on there. She's retired, business, bookkeeping, accounting, risk management. Well, she's not very good at risk management if she's the one who's already allowed this this guy to serve for or work for the college. This is just crazy. Let's see, Coke Hill High School. She graduated. She's U of North Wales. Interesting. Oh, SOU in Ashland, SWAC, business, accounting. Okay. Let's see. Her prior governmental experiences, elected to 5 terms on SWAC, Board of Education. That already shows to me that she needs to go. I mean, if she's been there for 5 terms and you've got registered sex offenders working for you, she needs to go. This lady seriously needs to go. And I hope you people are going to do something about this and get rid of this person. She was appointed to the Oregon Community College Association, appointed, meaning that no one else would take the job. So they gave it to her, meaning, was she really appointed or just forcefully volunteered? Who knows? Currently serving on OCCA Member Services Committee. Okay, that's nice. Which OCCA? I'd have to. Is that Orca? That's not Orca. OCCA. I'd have to go look that up. Yeah, just the fact she has that much government experience, that scares the hell out of me. That would worry me, because government is the only job that you want to hire people who have no experience in government. Every other vocation, which I don't consider government a vocation, especially if you're running for office, but any other vocation, you want to hire people who are experienced in that vocation. I mean, I was an optician, and I wanted to hire people who already had optical skills when I was hiring people. And that's the same for anyone. If you run a shop, a mechanic shop, you want to hire someone who's already knows how to work with tools. And so that's how you do it when you're in the private market. But when in government, no, you don't want to hire people who have had a lot of government experience, because that means they know all the tricks in the book to screw over the taxpayers. That's really what that means. And so that was the SEL 90 for, let's see, what was this lady's name again? Marcia Jensen. Yeah, we're not voting for her. We're voting for Chris Castleman. Let's see his 190. Oh, and Chris did it old school. He filled it out by hand. I like that. It's Chris Castleman is his address. Race and ethnicity, American. Well, now there you go. Now that was a good answer, Chris. I'm an American. Always been an American. Always going to be an American. When they put me 6 feet under, they're going to put American on my headstone. You damn right. And so he answered it better than I would, because I would, like I said, I would have been a smart ass and put on there either not applicable or really inappropriate. It's totally inappropriate. He's a software engineer, which is good. He used to be an owner of his own business. He's a handyman, very, very much a handyman. He's a jack of all trades. Let's see. He's gone to college. He's graduated from high school. Let's see, educational background, D1 athlete for cross country. Okay. Prior governmental experience, college student senate and finance committee member. Oh, well, there you go. He does actually have some experience in government, much less experience than Marcia. So I like that. But I know Chris. You all know Chris. We're voting for him. That's just a foregone conclusion. Why? Because, well, he's just the better candidate. Let me get this up here. All right, so we're going to go down to position 4. We've got Jeremy Skinner running against Richard Coleman. I'm supporting Richard Coleman in this one, but let's see who Jeremy Skinner is. Let's see who Skinner is. Let's see. He's filed $10. Oh, he lives in Gold Beach. Yep. Library director of Curry Public Library. Oh, you know who this guy is? This is the guy who defends having pornography in the library. Yeah, this guy was pushing for it. Librarian and archivist, Lewis and Clark College. So he worked for the Lewis and Clark College. This is his occupational background. So already, just by looking at that, I can tell you this guy's a flaming liberal. Yes, liar, liar, pants on fire, you flaming liberal. Let's see, complete name of school. He's completed the University of Washington. He's gone to Portland State University. He's gone to the Lewis and Clark College, Gold Beach High School. So that means he's been indoctrinated. Anyone who's been to PSU or U of W, they've pretty much been indoctrinated to a lot of BS. And just the fact this guy was a librarian and archivist, Yeah, and then he's the one who's defended pornography in the school. Totally tells me he's a flaming leftist. Prior governmental experience, Central Curry School District Board of Directors. So he's been on the school board in Curry County. Wonder how that was. Wonder how that went for him. But yeah, I'm not going to be supporting this guy. Definitely not. So let's go down. Jeremy Skinner. Let's go down to Richard Coleman. This is a gentleman I'm going to be supporting. Like I said, the people I'm supporting, the reason I'm voting for them isn't because I like them, or it's because I think they're cool, or they owe me money and this is the only way I can get paid is to support them. No, this is those all three of those are not reasons why I'm voting for these. I'm voting for these people because I think they're better for the job than the person they're running against. Does that mean they're going to do a good job? I don't know. I have no clue until they get into that position and start making decisions. But here's Richard Coleman's SEL 190. And let's see, he's applying for that position. Let's see, shop manager at Johnson Rock Products. Oh, I already like this guy. Johnson Rock Products. I know the owners over at Johnson Rock. They're pretty good guys. I mean, I think they made a few political mistakes, supported a few of the wrong political candidates, but overall, they're good conservatives. They're good Republicans, and he's the shop manager. That tells me a lot. Diesel technology instructor. Oh, yes, that's interesting. Let's see, Lane Community College, North Bend High School. So he went to a community college, so he didn't go to a university where he was indoctrinated. So I already like this guy. Let's see, he's U.S. Army. Hell, U.S. Army. Well, that tells me a lot about this guy. I like this guy already. I've never even met Richard Coleman, but yeah, I've just what I've heard about him, I was already going to support him. And he's part of several people who are running for the Southwestern Oregon Community College as a slate. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to go through these positions first. So let's go to position 5, Christine Johnson Hainsworth. Nobody's challenging her, which is sad. She's on the board, I believe, already. Let's see. I think she's already on the board. Let's take this. Boy, she had a problem figuring out how her name is going to appear on the ballot. That's funny. See, that's funny when you fill it out by hand. It shows you all your mistakes. And then she filled it out in red. Yeah, she wanted to make sure they understood. She occupation United Airlines purser. Okay. Have any of you flown United Airlines lately? Have any of you flown lately? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Occupational background, SWAC board member. So yeah, she was already on SWAC. Let's see what Oregon State University. Oh, so she went to OSU. So she's totally indoctrinated. Let's see, incumbent SWAC board member. That's her prior government. So yeah, this lady is already on the board. So why would you vote for somebody who's already proven to not give a damn about the students because she was part of the people who've allowed a sexual deviant to work at SWAC with young people? It's really sick. All of these people, I've no respect for any of them. Anyone who's on the board, and I don't even know all the people on the board, and I can tell you right now, I have no respect for them whatsoever. They should have done something about this pervert who is working at the Southwestern Oregon Community College, but they're not. They're not doing anything. So let's go to position 7, because in position 5, nobody is running against Christine. That's sad. That's really sad. Okay, position 7, Maria Sudduth and Danessa Rains. And of course, I can tell you right now, I'm supporting Danessa Rains because she's as solid as a rock. Let me tell you, this woman has, with her money, with her time, with all of her efforts, has proven she is a good America First Republican. She is a good conservative Republican. But let's find out about Maria. Let's go ahead and click this and check out her SEL 190. There, her SEL 190 is. Let's see. Oh, she was good. She filled this out on the computer. Yeah, oh, look, race and ethnicity. She's a Caucasian. She's a Caucasian. Isn't that nice? She's a Caucasian. Yeah, that's nice. That's how insulting they ask you your race. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd put, I'm a black man. You got something about it? Huh? You want to say something? That's right. I'm a black man. I can identify as anyone I want. But she identifies as a Caucasian. Board member, position 7, as her occupation, Southwestern Oregon Community College. Okay, occupation background, governance council, California State University, Chico Academic Senate in California State University, faculty, College of Communication and Education. Yeah, this lady is the bilingual teacher. Oh, well, okay, so she can tell you to F off in several different languages, I guess. California State University, Shasta Community College, Holy Names High School. Yeah, well, this lady sounds, the California State University, progressive, indoctrinated, and she likes to hire sexual offenders, or at least allow them to continue working at the Southwestern Oregon Community College. And so she is someone who I don't respect. I have no respect for. I don't even care to talk to these people. I'm not even going to give them the time of the day, but I'll probably have Danessa Rains on here. Let's check out Danessa's 190. Let's check this out. Bloop. There it is. There's the 190. Oh, she did it old school. She did it by hand. Let's see. White and Caucasian. Well, Danessa, I think that's one and the same, but you can be both. You can be both if you want. Let's see. Business owner and property developer. Let me tell you, when it comes to business, Danessa is just absolutely phenomenal. She's an incredible business owner, incredible deal maker, and she knows how to get stuff done. Occupational background, marketing manager, salesperson, rancher. Well, that right there makes me like her. I wouldn't even have to know Danessa, and I could read that and like her. North Bend High School, University of Oregon. So she even went to one of those universities, one of those leftist universities, but luckily she wasn't indoctrinated enough to go completely left. She's a master gardener from OSU Extension. Wow, I did not know that about Danessa. Master gardener, pretty cool. Prior governmental experience, Fish Trap Drainage District, secretary, treasurer, and that right there is, I don't like people with government experience, but this was a fish trap drainage district. You actually have to figure stuff out when you're on a drainage district. They've got actual real problems that the district has to deal with. And so, yeah, I'm going to be voting for Danessa. This is who I'm going to be supporting. Like I said, I'll have all these names. I'll have every one of these names at some point listed on my website so you all can check it out. Let's see. We're going to get to the South Coast Education Service District. But before I do, I want to go back here. I got a bunch of comments. Let me get back on the screen here. Let me go to my comments. And Jeff P. Jeff, you're the man. He says, Phil is the man. Okay, Jeff, you're not the man. Phil is the man. That's right. So, yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. Phil is the man. And I can guarantee you, one of your biggest supporters will be Rob from Base and Tackle. Rob thinks highly of Phil Taylor. So if you live in Coos County and you all know Doug Washington, AKA Base and Tackle Rob. If you all know Doug Washington, you know Doug's the man, and he's telling you people, I guarantee you, Doug, if he was here, he would tell you people, you need to vote for Phil. So I agree with you, Jeff. Totally agree with you. And let's see, Chris Castleman is the only choice for that position. Yes, he is. Definitely the only choice for the college district. And I hope he wins that. I really hope he wins that. I hope all three of them win that. And they can create a policy where they no longer hire registered sex offenders. Yeah, that should already be a policy. But obviously, all those other candidates who are on the board now, well, they must like sex offenders and they must like putting children at risk. They're putting our children at risk. And so therefore, they've already lost my vote, lost my respect. Jeff Pete says, American. Yep, American. I'm an American. That's what race I is. As an American. Yep, I know. Is the answer for race. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff says, Phil and Chris have common sense. Yes, they do. And that's another thing. I look at all these people who have tons and tons of degrees and this, that, and the other thing, and yet they don't have enough common sense in their pinky to not hire a registered sex offender. I mean, to me, it takes that many degrees of getting your mind washed until you can justify and rationalize in your own mind that it's okay to hire a registered sex offender. And that's obviously what has happened with these people. They are so screwed up in the head, and probably because of all the liberal degrees that they got, that, they think there's nothing wrong with having this guy work for them. And I think that's just freaking sick. I just think that's absolutely sick. So let me go ahead and put this back up on screen here because we were doing so well. Let me remove Jeff's comments, and I'll come back to the comments later. I just want to go over, continue going over all of this stuff here. Let me see. Let me get back here. Okay, South Coast Service District ESD, which, by the way, they should just eliminate ESD. I think the commissioners should just figure out a way to. ESD is really, it's stupid. There's no reason for ESD. It's the South Coast Education Service District. They own property here that could be put back on the market. Have the district with their own funds destroy the buildings, tear all the buildings down, and get rid of all the blight. Or if the buildings are usable and sellable, then sell them and get rid of South Coast Education Service District and just use those buildings, put it back on the free market, put all their land back on the free market. And I would just completely get rid of that service district. It's superfluous. That's the word. Superfluous. That's the word of the day. Superfluous. So position 1, zone 4. Ooh, they got zones. They got zones in South Coast Education. So, that means certain people in certain areas will only get to vote for these positions. And the one who's running now is John Ezra Sherman and John Buckley. Don't know who either of these gentlemen are, but let's look at their 190. ESD position 1, he's running for John Ezra. Yep. Let's see. Is race and ethnicity human? Now, actually, that technically is the correct answer because there is only one race, and that's human race. There are thousands of ethnicities, but for race and ethnicity, human race, that's actually correct. Yes. He's retired. Good. He has plenty. He's occupational background, diverse employment history, including certified staff instructor, electronic test engineer, hydroacoustic engineer tech, lead electronic maintenance tech, Tektronix Beaverton, rental property maintenance manager, choir director, tree planner. Yeah, okay. Interesting business there. That's interesting. He's went to Henry Cogswell College, Lane Community College, North Bend High School. We graduated there. Let's see, precinct committee person. Yeah, I know nothing really about this guy. So I have no idea. I'm going to have to find out about this guy just like everyone else. So here's John Buckley. Here's the other guy who's running against John Ezra. Let's see who's John Buckley. His SEL 190. Engineering service technician is his former occupation background, U.S. Coast Guard, Port of Coos Bay Harbor Master, facilities manager. Interesting. Very interesting. Madison Senior High School. USCG Senior Leadership Academy, USCG Naval Engineer. Yeah, that's impressive. Park Committee, City of North Bend, Planning Commission, City of North Bend School District Board member. North Bend School District Board member. Let's go up. John Buckley. I wonder if he was on there during the time they were having, the drag queen shows and teaching all the critical race theory BS. I wonder how long ago that was. That's interesting. We'll have to find it. But once again, I don't know anything about these two candidates who are running against each other. I can't tell you. Position 3, Zone 2, Billy Reeves, Greer Lally. Don't know either of those. Let's check out Billy Reeves. Let's go see. Let's see who Billy Reeves is. Who are you, Billy? Billy Reeves. Okay. There he goes. Billy Reeves as above. Okay. let's see, he's white. So that's, I don't know. Maybe, if we were truly being diverse, anyone who signs in as white, we shouldn't even vote for, I guess. I don't know. But then I wouldn't be able to vote for Danessa. So yeah, that ain't going to work. Occupation, retired. Occupation background, teacher, public schools, principal, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Yeah, I'm sure he put that because he knew that anyone's thinking, oh, a principal. Anyone who's been in school last 5 years is totally woke. So 20 years ago, that may give him some clearance. He went to the University of Washington, UC Riverside, University of Tennessee. Prior government experience. I've served on the ESD board since 2019 and on various committees during those years. Yeah, I have, once again, I don't know anything about this guy other than what I read in his SEL 190. And there you go. So we're going to have to do a little bit of an investigation on these two positions, position 1, position 3. Greer Lally. What an interesting name. That is an interesting name, Greer. Teacher, special education, teacher in special education, 17 years, University of San Diego, Prescott College, Green Mountain College. Okay, prior government, none. Well, that's good. That's good. I like that, but who knows? Who knows? I'd have to find out who this Greer Lally is. I really don't know. Let's see. Position 5, only one person, Jacqueline Crook. That's the perfect name for any politician, Crook. I just assume that's all of their middle names, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being mean. Position, she's going to win because she's the only one. I'm not going to go to her SEL 190. Charlotte Hutt, okay. Position 6, yeah, okay. Position 7, finally, we got another contested race, and we've got Nate Leslie running against Joanne L. Moss. Let's see who Nate is. Let's check out Nate's SEL 190. Special education teacher, Coke Hill School District. Okay. I'd have to ask a few people about that, but we know people. We can find out about all of these people. So that's the nice thing about going over this early is you can find out who these people are, and then you can put the word out who everyone should be voting for if they truly want change in this county. Joanne L. Moss, let's see. Let's see. She went to Western Oregon University and Western Oregon State College. Let's see. She has a bunch of prior governmental experience. 2023 elected to the South Coast ESD position 7, president of CCE, South Coast SCDC Advisory Board. Oh, is that the South Coast Development Council? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. That's another. Basically, it's a way to spend our tax dollars on private corporations and advertising private corporate. It's BS. South Coast Development Council is nonsense. Main Street Design Committee. Oh yeah, I don't know who this woman is. I doubt she's a conservative just by looking at her past experience, but I'd have to find out. Joanne Moss. That name sounds so familiar. I know this person. I'll just have to figure it out. So let's go to the Bandit School District, and this is the school district that I live in and I'll be voting on. And in position 1, we've got Corey Gant running against David Heisel. I knew a Gant who used to work in the office, a woman. I don't really think her name was Corey, but I don't know who Corey Gant is, but I know I will be probably voting for David Heisel. But let me give that let me put a clause on that. I'm not happy with David because he voted for the excise tax. And worse yet, he didn't even let us know that there was going to be a vote on the excise tax. And I was kind of upset with David about that. But I do know David is working to get the woke agenda controlled in Bandon. They're working to keep certain materials from reaching students. And they're doing a pretty good job on that. So you have to ask yourself, do we want to give give up a Republican, a conservative who, like I said, I have to give him a C or a D on his conservatism because he voted for an excise tax, to someone who may be a progressive. Let's look at Corey Gant's SEL 190. Let's check out the SEL 190. Yeah, part-time librarian assistant, occupation, retire registered nurse. Let's see, Southwest Oregon Community College, North Bend High School, previous governments, previously on the Bandon School Board. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to be voting for this Gant person. Once again, I'm not happy with David, but I'd rather have someone I know than someone who I don't know, who's been on the board before. And I haven't been happy with the decisions of the board in the past. Look, he was smart. He just left it blank, race and ethnicity. Yeah, see, I would have a hard time filling out these forms because I'd be a smart ass. Board chairman of the Bandon School Board, vice president, branch manager of the Banner Bank, which I have to let this, that's my bank, Banner Bank here in Bandon. So his previous occupation, previous sales management, U.S. Army. So he's a military guy, former military. Sius Law High School, graduated, finance and banking, specialized education. Let's see, previously appointed the following positions: director, Bandon Chamber of Commerce, director, Greater Bandon Association, board chairman, Bandon Young Life, area director, Bandon Young Life, past president, Bandon by the Sea, Kiwanis. So he's been in all the regular who's who of memberships. The Chamber of Commerce, which, as far as I'm concerned, the Chamber of Commerce is a waste of time. I don't think any of our tax dollars should be funding any of the Chamber of Commerce. If they want to be a Chamber of Commerce, they should do it privately as a private group, but they leech off the taxpayers. So, whatever. I still think that David is probably a better choice than Corey Gant, and I'll probably be voting. I will be voting for David. Let's see. In position 3, we got Claudia Powers and Stan Avery. This is even a much harder decision for me, but I will probably be voting for Stan, and I'm not very happy with Stan. Stan was a huge David Brock Smith supporter. Stan, he supported the some things that I just didn't agree with, like the public housing that the school did. David Heisel actually supported that public housing, and I didn't like that at all. I don't like public housing. That was nonsense. But once again, look at who he's running against: Claudia Powers. I'm just willing to bet this person. The leftists are trying to get rid of any conservatives on the Bandon School Board, and so I would just imagine. And I don't have on this computer, I don't have my voter rolls, or I just find out how this person was registered. Occupation, attorney. Oh, shit. That right there makes me say no. You're an attorney? Wow. Yeah. Energy, environmental, and natural resources law. Are you an environmental attorney? Damn. Let's go down to the occupational background of this Claudia Powers, teacher, John Adams High School in Portland, Oregon. Woke, totally woke, curriculum development and research, Northwest Educational Laboratory, Portland, Oregon, Energy and Water Rights, Office of General Counsel, Bonneville Power Administrator. Ooh, already don't like this person. Don't like this person a lot. WPPSS litigation team, United States Department of Justice. I wonder which president that they were on the Department of Justice. I wonder who was the president when they were on the Department of Justice. Let's see. Bandon Primary, Elementary, Middle School, and High School. They graduated. Thank goodness. University of Oregon. Brigham Young University, and Lewis and Clark Law School. So they've got their pedigrees. And so that's what you're looking at here. And all of this experience tells me that this person is nothing but a woke, leftist, a nihilist, Tesla hating, Trump hating person. I don't know. I'm willing to bet. I'm just willing to bet. Director, CETA title, Title IX program, City of Portland. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This person is bad. Bad. And this really ticks me off because if we had someone who was decent running against Stan Avery, then Stan Avery is a friend of mine. And this is not about friendship. This is about hiring a person to do a job. And Stan has not done a very good job. I'm not very happy with Stan, but I'm going to be voting for him. This is not an endorsement. I'm just voting for him because I'm going to vote against this Claudia Powers, because just by reading his SEL 190, I know this person. Never met this person, but I can just read by their history. Yeah, they're not worth a damn. So position 5, Angela Cardis. She's a leftist. Nice lady. I've talked to Angela. Nice lady. She's a total leftist. Don't agree with her on pretty much anything. Position 6, Brianna Hutchins, another leftist. Not Angela, Brianna. It doesn't matter because nobody's running against them. So shame on you, the rest of Bandon. And I wish one conservative would have stepped up. Position 7, we got John Sullivan facing Matthew Whitmer. And I don't know. We're going to have to find out who these people are. I may know them. I don't know. I may know them. John Sullivan, San Diego State University. Well, he's not a lawyer, so I got to give him credit for that. Doesn't have any governmental background. None. That you got to give him credit for that. So don't know who this person is. We're going to find out more about him. Matthew Whitmer. Let's see who this Matthew Whitmer is. A patrol sergeant, Bandon Police Department. That's very interesting. Later on in the show, I've got a story about the Bandon Police Department. A good story. Very good story. I'm going to have to find out if Mr. Whitmer was the person who responded to a call that I had recently. Very good interaction with the police department. But yeah, I'm going to have to find out more about this person. Previous sales manager, deputy sheriff, police officer, Western Oregon University, Bandon High School. Yeah. Okay. So we'll find out more about these candidates. And like I said, I've got a list of people who I'm supporting. I've told you the people I'm supporting, but in this position, I don't know who I'm going to support. But for the Bandon School District, David Heisel and Stan Avery. That's who I'm going to be going with. Coos Bay School District. I'm position 1. You got Arnie Roblin and Chris Castleman. And anyone who knows Arnie, and pretty much everyone in the Coos Bay School District knows Arnie because he was a teacher and a principal back in the Stone Age when all of us were kids. And I don't know, I hear a lot of stories a lot of times about how Arnie Roblin, boy, he got me out of trouble. He saved my ass from getting expelled. I hear this quite often from people, and I think their loyalty to him is based on past experiences that may not have been political, and people feel like they owe them. And people may feel like they owe Arnie Roblin because he was their teacher and their principal. And I don't know. I think back of all the principals I had and the teachers I've had, and there's very few I would ever vote for. I don't even think they should have been principals. I mean, I had a history teacher who got mad because she couldn't answer a question and pushed the podium down on the floor and told us to leave the classroom. Oh, okay. I wanted to leave anyway. I didn't want to be here in the first place. You can't answer questions? Fine. I'm leaving, lady. So I don't know. Arnie Roblin, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a good story about Arnie. When I used to go up during the legislative session and talk to the representatives, Arnie was always the first to welcome me in. He had a really good staff member. Her name was Rosie. And Rosie was good. One time she called me and I was sleeping during the day. I was taking one of those afternoon naps. And this was during a really high campaign. This was a huge campaign I was working on. And I'd been working really hard, and I just took a nap during the middle of the day. And she called me and she woke me up during the sleep. She goes, "Were you sleeping?" "Yeah, okay, Rosie, you busted me. I was sleeping." "I can't believe you're sleeping. You should be out campaigning." I know. I should be out campaigning. I've been up all night, been going to all these damn campaign rallies and meetings. And yeah, I get it, Rosie. I get it. But I don't support Arnie Roblin politically. Don't, like I said, he's a nice guy. So was Rosie. Just wouldn't vote for him. And Chris Castleman, I already know. We've already looked at his SEL 190s. I'm going to be voting for Chris. He's a true conservative, true blue conservative. He's more than a conservative. He's an objectivist like me. He looks at all the issues. He looks at the issues and he looks at all sides of the issue to try to come to the most rational answer on every issue. And so this is why I like Chris Castleman. He's young, he's eager, and let me tell you, he's better than Arnie Roblin. I know you liked him as a principal, you liked him as a teacher, but Arnie, he's got to go. He needs to retire. So I'm supporting Chris Castleman in position 1 in the Coos Bay School District. On position 2, I was going to support Katrina Clayholt. Not that she's always been the exemplary character. I think she has made an incredible amount of change in her life, and she's on the right direction. But she just got hired by the Coos Bay School District, so she decided not to run for the board. She said it would have been a conflict of interest. So this Maddie Rosengarten, well, she's going to be running unchallenged now. Derek Rogalski, I think that's how you pronounce that, position 5 in the Coos Bay School District, running uncontested, so he's going to win. Foregone conclusion there. Position 6, for some reason, I don't know, Katrina, she was originally running for this position and then switched to the 2nd position from the 6th position, and then she got hired and just withdrew completely from the whole entire district. So there you go. Diane Johnson is now running unopposed in the Coos Bay School District. So all of those people are now unopposed except for position 1, where I'm going to be supporting Chris Castleman. Coquille School District, as you can see, nobody is challenging these people at the school in the school district in Coquille, and that's sad. You got Melinda Millett, Kayla Pritchard, Sharon Nelson. I wonder if she's related to Lance Nelson. I wonder. Curious. A lot of Nelsons out there. Very common name. It's like Taylor. So it doesn't matter. All 3 of those people are going to win. Let's go to the Myrtle Point School District. All of those are uncontested. Julie Huff, Amanda Hawker. Amanda Hawker is one of my Facebook friends. I think she's great for the job. I think she'll be okay. Justin Miller, Katie Turner. I may know these people. Don't recognize the names. I don't know. Doesn't really matter because they're all going to win because nobody challenged them. So let's continue down the special districts. Coos County School District, North Bend. This, my friends, I think is one of the most important races in the entire election. And let me tell you why this is one of the most important races, is that we got the most conservative, the best America First conservative sitting on the North Bend School District. In fact, I tell people, if you want to talk to someone who's a hardcore conservative, a hardcore America First, truly, and I would call an objectivist without even defining herself as an objectivist because she is so rational in her decision making, and that's Carol Yardley. Carol Yardley is incredible on that board. She questions everything they do, and she always wants to find out more. And so, but that's everyone on the North Bend School Board District has been actually incredible. Now, they call this the Coos County School District because it encompasses much more than the city of North Bend. It encompasses, I think, the North Spit, other parts on the other side of the bridge there. So they just called it the County School District. But we all know this is the North Bend School District. So in position 2, Mary Schilling is running against Deanne Wiederman. And I would imagine Deanne Wiederman, I'm going to be supporting Mary Schilling. Now, let me tell you something about Mary Schilling. Mary Schilling is a wonderful, nice lady. But she may not be so happy with me because me and her husband have been battling it out during the David Brock Smith campaign. And Rod Schilling was one of the people who tried to get me kicked off the radio. He threatened to go to my sponsors and have them cancel their sponsorship, which, by the way, all of my sponsors, all of them said they would continue to sponsor my podcast, and all of them stayed with me through all the turmoil. They're my friends. They're not going to cancel out on me, and they're certainly not going to do it because some stranger calls up complaining because I didn't follow whatever the Republicans were demanding me follow at the time. But that's Rod Schilling. It's not Mary. Mary's a nice lady. Like I said, she may not be happy with me right now. She may not even like me right now. I don't care. she's done a fabulous job on the North Bend School District, and I'm supporting Mary. Let's check out Mary's SEL 190. Let's see. She did it old school. She's retired. Let's see. She was the county clerk of the Board of Supervisors. Boy, I can't read a lot of this, Mary. Oh, she's got a lot of occupational background. She's done a lot of work. She worked for the Public Utilities Commission, the Transportation District, self-employed, partner in a transportation consulting company. Ooh, that's interesting. So she's got a pretty diverse background here. Doesn't matter. Her votes, the way she's conducted herself on the school board, top drawer candidate here. She went to West High School. She went to Bakersfield College. They have a college in Bakersfield? Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever been to Bakersfield? Wow. Yeah, there's time in my life I'll never get back. But so she's been to worse places than North Bend, obviously. North Bend School District 13 board member elected in 2021, and she's done a hell of a job. Let me tell you, this lady has done an incredible job. So I will be supporting Mary Schilling, no matter what she thinks of me. I don't care. And Deanne Weiderman, let's see what she's all about. Position 2, Deanne Weiderman. Oh, let's see. I stay-at-home mom. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see. Seasonal wildlife technician for the Forest Service. Oh, you work for the Forest Service? Go screw you, lady. Anyone who works for the Forest Service, you shouldn't be showing your face around here. You should be embarrassed just to be. I can't believe you put this on here. Wow. That's just incredible that you would put this on there. But she is white. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she is white. So I guess that's something. But of course, it doesn't matter in the city of North Bend because they're anti-white. So I don't know. But I think she was probably recruited by Ingle Key or David Milliron to run for this position. I don't know that for sure, but I do know that Ingle Key and David Milliron, they really have a beef with the school board members now who are running. And that alone makes me suspicious of this person. But she works for the Forest Service. Yeah. I wouldn't consider her for dog catchers because I love dogs. Okay. That's, Forest Service. You shouldn't even be putting your damn name on this thing. So position 4, we got Dallas Pettenbrink and Megan Kronsteiner Cahill. Now, Dallas is a friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. And once again, he's been exemplary as a school board member. He just voted against that huge debt that the city of North Bend tried to put on him. And so let's check out his SEL 190, Dallas Pettenbrink. Let's see, race, ethnicity. He didn't answer it. Smart man. IT consultant, business office manager, IT manager. That's always good. Marshfield High School. He went to SWAC, degrees and certified, elected Coos County PCP. Yes, he is a PCP. Yep. That was Dallas Pettenbrink. Let's see, Megan Kronsteiner. Now, I'm willing to bet Kronsteiner, there's not too many Kronsteiners. Wasn't there a Kronsteiner who was a director of the Port of Coos Bay? Yeah, there was a Kronsteiner on the Port of Coos Bay. And I think there's a city councilor who works for Kronsteiner. Isn't that interesting? Then you've got this Kronsteiner. I don't know if she's related to the Kronsteiner who was on the Coos Bay port. I don't know if she's related. I'm willing to bet they are. And I find it interesting, once again, that the city council and the mayor and the manager of North Bend, they really got a beef with the school board of North Bend because they voted against the city's taxing debt that the school would have had to pay 40% of. I think it was like 40% the school would have had to have paid for. And this Kronensteiner, if she's related to the guy in the port, that alone to me disqualifies her. She's a freaking attorney. Forget it. No, no. No. Do you want an attorney on the school board? Yeah, right. No, that's the last person I want on the school board. Let's see, North Bend High School, Central Oregon, University of Oregon Law. So she's totally indoctrinated here. But I'm not going to be. I'm willing to bet that she's related to the other Kronsteiner. And like I said, it's very strange. You've got a counselor by the name of Matt Hamilton. I believe he works for that Kronsteiner. Yeah, sounds like the city council and the mayor and the manager have been out recruiting candidates. I don't know, just my suspicion. But in that position 4, I'll be supporting Dallas Pettenbrink. Position 5, Jim Jordan versus Julie B. Hale. And of course, Jim Jordan's an old friend of mine. He is the most stable person I've ever met. Jim Jordan is the most rational, stable person I know. The guy is incredible. He handles the board. He was the chair of the board, and he handled that board like nobody's business. And he had good people under him, of course, Dallas and Mary. So I'll be supporting Jim Hale. I don't know who Julie B. Hale is, but Jim Jordan, I'll be supporting him. Let's see his SEL 190. Oh, Jim filled it out on the computer. Thank you, Jim. That helps it out. Petroleum engineer. I already like him. Yeah, that should make you petroleum engineer. He worked in the oil field, the University of Texas at Austin. And he's old enough. He lived in Austin before it went weird like Portland. Yeah, Austin used to be the cool place in Texas to go. That's where you would go and party on the weekend back in the 80s and 90s. And then all of a sudden they just went totally woke, completely left. Crazy, batshit crazy. Let's see, prior government experience, North Bend School District Board, position 5, of course. And he does a great job. I'll be supporting Jim Jordan. But let's see who his opponent is. Julie B. Hale. Okay, Julie, she filled it out, pen and paper. Vet Tech, net receptionist. Oh, vet receptionist, vet marketing preschool teacher. Yeah. Okay. Community college. I can't read. Lenore. Does that say Lenore? I don't know. Community college, 2-year. Prior government experience, no answer. So we don't know if she does or doesn't. She just refused to answer. So hopefully people realize that this lady is nobody who can take the position of Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan has done too well. Position 6, Julie Thies and Anna Hewitt. And I can already tell you I'm going to be supporting Julie Thies. And once again, Julie is a big David Brock supporter. And I don't begrudge Julie for that. If she wants to be a David Brock supporter, that's great, because she didn't go after my business. As far as I know, she didn't go after my sponsors. She didn't have me try to get kicked off the radio. She just supports David Brock Smith, and that's her choice. And I think that's great. But she really gets mad at me because I don't. And she says, I'm very mean. I'm a mean guy. I'm a big meanie because, I come out after people. And if Julie was doing the wrong things, I'd come out after Julie, but Julie isn't. Julie's been remarkable on the North Bend School Board, and I'll be supporting Julie because she rocks. And I know she's not happy with me right now. She's kind of mad at me because, we just have a difference of opinion about a politician, and she's not happy at all with me, but I'm going to support Julie, whether she wants my support or not. And that's just the way it's going to be. Anna M. Hewitt, she ran last time. I'm not sure if she ran against Julie Thies. Hewitt, I forget who she ran against. But let's check out Julie's SEL 190. Let me make sure this is still being. Yeah, I'm still sharing it. Okay, so we're good. So here's her SEL 190. She did it old school. She did it pen and paper. She's a Bay Area Hospital Unit Support Specialist. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. I did not know that. That's interesting. Bayview Accounting Tax Service, Office Support, Bay Area Athletic Club. Interesting. She graduated from Coquille High School. She's a precinct committee person, North Bend School Board, District 13. Yeah, I'll be supporting Julie on this, and think she's done great. Fabulous. Like I said, this is an exemplary board on the North Bend School Board. Exemplary. And see, Anna is challenging her. Anna is probably one of the David Milliron minions, the David Milliron recruits here. And Native American, Cherokee, and white. Oh, wow. Well, she's got to get specific. Does that give her extra points? Does that mean for every one vote that Julie gets, that because she's a Native American, her opponent, maybe she gets 1.5 votes? Is that the way we should do that? Would that be, DEI appropriate? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe this lady should get more votes than Julie, because Julie's just a white person. Who cares? I mean, they're just white people. But this woman is a Native American Cherokee. We got to put her on a pedestal. Why? Because of her ethnicity, just her ethnicity alone. Well, I'm calling bullshit. I'm not going to give her extra credence. I don't give a damn if she was an American Indian or not. And this whole Native American, I got news for you, honey. Nobody knows who the first people were here in America. And even the scientists disagree about it. And I can tell you right now, no human is a Native American. We're all native Mediterraneans. We all came from Northern Africa. Okay. So yeah, put that in your woke pipe and smoke it. Let's see, a clinical manager, polysomnographer. I don't even know what a polysomnographer is. I don't even know what the hell that is. She's a occupation parent, advocate, community volunteer. Oh, so she doesn't work at all, I guess. I don't know. Lower Lake High School, she graduated. Educational background. RPSGT, RST certification. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that means. Someone, if you know what that means, if you know what RPSGT or RST certification means, put that in the comments, because I have no clue. I don't know what that means. I'd like to know, but I'm not going to be voting for it, because this woman is clearly, probably, more than likely, Anna Hewitt. She's probably a David Milliron minion. And it doesn't matter. My slate is Schilling, Pettenbrink, Jordan, and Thies. And those are the 4 people that we need to put back into the North Bend School Board, because they have done more than any other school board in this entire state. They're the only school board that I know of that has ever turned down an urban renewal project, a $40 million project, because they knew it would be deleterious to the taxes that they receive from us, the taxpayers, us county taxpayers. And I think as county taxpayers, we need to reward Schilling, Pettenbrink, Jordan, and Thies by returning them back to office. I'm not going to be able to vote for them, but I'll tell you what, I'm already shifting money out of one PAC and into another PAC that we're going to create just to support these types of people. And I'll be working with Chris Castleman on this. We're going to create another political action committee. I'm going to shut down the political action committee I have right now, which is for the wind turbines. And we're going to roll that money. I'm going to talk to a couple of my friends who've donated to make sure it's okay with them. But I believe we're going to roll that money over into a new PAC for the purpose of getting good America First candidates into office. And Mary Schilling, Dallas Pettenbrink, Jim Jordan, and Julie Thies are going to be the top people that we support, because we don't want to lose a single one of these people. We had a huge victory in North Bend, and we're not going to lose it. We're going to fight for these people. And like I said, Mary Schilling and Julie Thies, I think they're a little mad at me for past campaigns, and I don't care. They are excellent on the board. And I don't care if people like me or don't. If you do a good job, I'm going to give you credit for that good job, and I'm going to try to keep you in that position. You're damn right. I'm no fool. Let's go on to the Power School District. Nobody's running against these people in the Power School District. So why bother? Port Orford, Langlois School District. Well, you would have to contact the Curry County Elections to get that information. Okay, Port Orford, Langlois. Yeah. Bandon Port. This is a good one. Let me make sure this is still sharing. Yeah, I'm still sharing here. Okay, so in Bandon, we got this guy named Rick Gaucher who's been on the port board for a long time. And Rick Gaucher is one of these guys who tries to pretend he's a moderate. He's an in-between, he's a registered Democrat, but he's really more conservative, but he's not. He's an Obamacare supporting Democrat. And we need to get rid of him. And so I'm going to be supporting this Lori McNamara Osborne. I think I know Lori. I'm not sure, but I think I know Rick Gaucher, and I'll be supporting McNamara over Rick Gaucher. And that's because people have told me she's a good conservative. I don't know if she's a Republican or not, but I've heard she's a good conservative. So let's check out Rick Gaucher's SEL 190. Here we go. He's in Fairview. Seafood consultant. What the hell is a seafood consultant? Oh, Mr. Gorton, your fish sticks are a little salty. I mean, really, commercial fisherman. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Good for him. Should say commercial fisherman and Obama lackey. Yeah, it's because he was pushing an Obamacare back in 2012. Graduated to Tillamook High School, Oregon State University. He went there. Didn't look like he graduated. I don't know. He's been the Port of Bandon Commissioner, Oregon Albacore Commodity Chair, Oregon Salmon Commodity Chair, Oregon Crab Commodity Commissioner. And I don't know what the hell those positions are. I didn't even know those existed. See, I even learn new things. I'll have to find out what the Oregon Albacore Commodity Chair is all about and all these other chair positions. Not being a fisherman or in the fishing industry, this is just stuff I don't know about, but I do know Rick Gaucher, and I wouldn't trust the man further than I could throw him. And so that's why I'm going to be voting for someone I don't even know that I know, because I think she's just going to be better. And just that's based on the people I've talked to about her. And this is this Lori McNamara Osborne. Let's go over this. Self-employed. I like that. Bandon High School. Okay, I like that. All right. Not much to tell on this person. But like I said, we've got time. I'm going to find, because this is, I would love to defeat Rick Gaucher. I'm going to give Lori McNamara Osborne a call and see if we can get her on the show. That would be interesting. Position 3, Reg Pullen. No one's running against him. Reg has been on there for a very long time. Reg, like every politician, I've agreed with a few things with him and disagreed with a few things with him. Position 4, we've got Fred Fry and Renelli Allen Morris. Let's see who Fred Fry is. Retired commercial fisherman. No, that makes sense that commercial fishermen would want to be on the port board. City Council of Powers Port Commissioner. That's interesting. Yeah, people don't realize how far and wide these port districts go. The Bandon Port, it's huge. It goes all the way up to Coquille. People don't realize this, how vast these port systems are. Let's see. Position 5, Danessa Rains, Jim Clausen, and Keisha Pierce. Of course, I'm going to be supporting Danessa Rains. She's a good conservative, good friend of mine. Nothing against Jim Clausen or Keisha Pierce. We've already seen Danessa Rains SEL 190 for another position, but let's go ahead and check out Jim Clausen. Let's see who he is, what he's about. He lives in Powers. He's retired. Timber, logging, boxing, buying, selling. Oh, okay. I like boxing and selling. I don't know. I box and sell. That's right. If you don't buy, I just box the crap out of you, and you're going to be buying it anyway. I like that, boxing and selling. But that's actually buying and selling. I get it now. Powers High School. He's been on the Powers City Council, but hasn't everyone in Powers? I don't know if that's even a thing. So that's interesting. Like I said, I'll be supporting Danessa on this. Let's see, Keisha. Let's see who Keisha is. Keisha Pierce. Oh, well, she did this on the computer. Oh, she put in her white. She's white. She's white. I think that you get a mark against you if you're white. SWAC. I like some college. Some college. I could say that too. I used to hang out at the colleges, but that was only to pick up chicks. Yeah. But yeah, I got some college. I mean, there was a lot of biology going on, but what can I say? Oh, she did marine biology. I just did regular old biology, the birds and the bees kind of biology. Yeah, that's my college experience. Port of Coquille, position 5. So, yeah, I'll be supporting Danessa. That's just how that's going to roll. Let's go down to the Bay Area Hospital. Woo! This is going to be a big one. This is going to be the second biggest one, and this is probably the one I know the least about. That's because I don't live in Coos Bay and I don't go to the Bay Area Hospital. I go all the way over to Riverbend in Eugene. And that's because there are too many leftists who work for Bay Area Hospital. And when they were threatening to dox me and put all my personal medical information out there, well, I thought, I don't want to go to that hospital anymore. If you got employees who are threatening to dox me and I go to your hospital, I think I may stop that. So I stopped going to the Bay Area Hospital. I stopped going to Bay Clinic. I stopped seeing all doctors in Coos County because I didn't want crazy leftists who may work for these medical professionals who are supposed to be professional but are not anymore. And I shouldn't say the doctors, I'm talking about their staff, who will use that access to the information to dox people. And so that's why I'm not just very familiar in this Bay Area Hospital situation. And I'm going to have to learn more on this because this is a very important thing that's going to be coming up now. Position 3, we got Darren O'Brien. Boy, there's an Irish name if I've ever heard one. Darren O'Brien. Aye. You got Mark Daly. Oh, Mark's an old friend of mine. He's a wacky old friend of mine. He's the one who goes to the commissioners' meetings and asks for the sheriff to arrest Rod Taylor because of the January 6th insurrection. The only insurrection that ever occurred was in Mark's brain. And I don't know who won, but it wasn't Mark. And so Mark Daly, he's a nice guy. He used to run Outdoor Inn. He was the mayor of Coos Bay. He's a nice guy. I wouldn't put him in the position of dog catcher because, well, I like dogs. But he's running for position 3 here on the Bay Area Hospital. And, well, I won't even vote for him. But what can I tell you? Timothy Lynch and Simon Alonzo. Let's see what Mark Daly. Let's check out his SEL 190. Oh, look, he did it professionally on the computer. He's a small business consultant, rental property owner. Yeah. I wonder who he consults for. Let's see. Owner of Outdoor Inn. Owner of Coastal Karate. Let's see. Owner of Daily Works Digital Editing team for Robert Redford and Barry Levising. 1991 and 98. Editing team for Robert Redford and Barry Levison. The Robert Redford and the Barry Levison? Wow. That's damn interesting. But he's a leftist. I mean, in fact, calling Mark Daly a leftist is an insult to left. He's a downright communist, okay? He's a Marxist commie, okay? That's what Mark Daly is. And he's a friend of mine. I like the guy. I find him humorous. I find him damn humorous. And but I wouldn't vote for him for anything. And I've got a lot of friends like that. I think they're funny. I enjoy their company, but I wouldn't put them in a position of authority anywhere. And Mark Daly is one of those. Let's see. He went to the San Diego State University. He graduated. It looks like he graduated. He was on the Coos Bay City Council. I thought he was mayor at one point. No, I guess he was only on the council. I remember him being mayor. That's weird. Let's see. He was on the Coos Bay Planning Commission. And anyone who lives in Coos Bay, I don't know who's the Planning Commission today, but whoever planned those city roads, they didn't plan on all the potholes. And if they did, they didn't have a plan to fix them. So I don't know. But Mark Daly, yeah, I wouldn't vote for him for dog catcher because, yeah, I like dogs. So I don't know who I'm going to support on that. Timothy Lynch. Let's see what he's all about. Wow, what a lot of people in that position. Let's see. Oh, I passed it. Ethnicity. He didn't fill out his ethnicity. Well, Coos Bay Public Health Director. Occupation, Coos County Public Health Director. That's where I know this name from. Okay. I really shouldn't even have to go anymore because I wouldn't vote for this guy for dirt digger. No, let's see. He went to Walden University. He went to Penn West Clarion University. He went to Colorado State University. His educational background, he doesn't seem to know how to fill out a form, but that's okay. Most professional people aren't really that professional. Yeah. So this guy right here, he's the Coos County Public Health Director. And if you remember, they're the ones who were all for shutting down the schools. They were all for closing down the economy. They were all for masking us up, forcing us to wear masks. They would have forced us to wear 10 masks. And so anyone who had anything to do with the Coos County Public Health Director or department during this whole COVID thing, like I said, not only wouldn't I not vote for him to dig dirt, I would vote for him to take a long walk off a short pier. He would get my vote for that category. So all four of these people, yeah, I don't know any of them, and I'm going to have to find out who to vote for in position 3. I have no recommendation for you. Position 4, Brandon Sade and Arlene Robland. Yeah, let's see. I'm sorry, that's Brandon Sade. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Homemaker, engineer, trauma, RN, care manager, RN professor, or I'm not sure what that is. George Mason University, Marymount University, Walden University. Pretty. That's, I don't know who this person is, but boy, I went to a lot of big name schools there. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Don't know who this person is. I'd have to talk to him before I could ever vote for him or support him. So Arlene Robland, I imagine. Is this Arnie's wife or sister? Who? Yeah, I just wonder. I'm just curious. Retired educator, teacher, school administrator. Served on many nonprofit boards. Yeah, those nonprofits, NPOs. Yeah, I don't know who this person is, but anyone with the last name Robland, I would be, a little concerned about. Position 5, you got Kyle Stevens and Renee Nelson. Let's see what Kyle Stevens looks like here. Director of Coastal and Workforce New Sun Energy. Oregon Center for Nursing Treasurer. New Sun Energy. Workforce / New Sun Energy. Isn't that the company that is New Sun Energy? Didn't they own that solar plant? I'm going to have to find out more about this person. Director of Coastal and Workforce, New Sun Energy. Yeah, well, let's see. Executive Director, Southwestern Oregon Workforce Investment Board, CCD board member, Oregon Workforce Partnership board member, North Bend High School, graduated, University of Alaska. All right, let's see. Prior governmental experience, Oregon International Port of Coos Bay Commission President, Oregon International Port of Coos Bay Commission, Coos Bay School District Budget Committee, South Coast ESD Budget Committee. Yeah, I'm going to have to find out more about I know who this Kyle Stevens is. Now I know this guy was all for the wind turbine project. That's who I remember this guy from. Oh, Kyle Stevens. Yeah. He's on the Port of Coos Bay. He's the one who is promoting these wind turbines off the coast. He was a big supporter of David Brock Smith's. He was a big anti-Rob Taylor person because he didn't like me being on the radio. He didn't like me being out there putting all the messages out, which was anti-wind turbine, kind of like Donald Trump, that hero and champion of ours, Donald Trump. Yeah, that's where I was at. Kyle Stevens, not so much. He's an environmentalist wacko because he makes money off of exploiting people's fears about climate change. So I don't know who Renee Nelson is, but I'll take Renee Nelson over Kyle Stevens any day. And I haven't even looked at Renee Nelson's SCL 190. Let's check out Renee Nelson's. Okay. She's running for Bay Area Hospital. She's white Caucasian, occupation, executive vice president, chief growth officer of the First Community Credit Union. She went to Coquille High School, Arizona State University, University of Phoenix, Bay Area Hospital District. That's her prior government. City of Coos Bay Budget Committee. Wow. You know, if I have to choose, I probably will choose this person, but I'm going to have to talk to this Renee person. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to this person and find out more about Renee. We'll see. Position 6, Troy Cribbins and John Uno. And Troy Cribbins, I believe he's actually a Republican, but he is also the husband of Melissa Cribbins, the woman who just lost her position to Rod Taylor a couple of years back on the Coos County Commissioners. Yep. Let's see. He's the administrator for Pacific Home Health and Hospice. He's the owner, Access Rehabilitation LLC Physical Therapy Staffing Organization is his occupational background. He went to the Eastern Washington University, University of Oregon, Umpqua Community College, Clackamas High School. Let's see. Current board chair, Bay Area Health District. Current Coos Bay City Councilor. Yeah. Yep. Let's go back and see who he's running against. Is John Uno, who's part of Puerto. John Uno, he's known around the county. I don't know. I may have met him. I don't know who he is. He's a medical doctor, urologist. Yep. Urologist. Yes. University of California, Berkeley. University of California, San Francisco. Wow. You know, have you ever had a race in a position in a campaign where, you know, it's like voting between a turd sandwich and a douchebag? Yeah, I think we're going to have a few of these choices like that. Do you want the turd sandwich or would you like the douchebag? Give me a douchebag with a side of salad there. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at the Bay Area Hospital. Boy, what a mess that's going to be. Coquille Valley Hospital. Nobody's running against these people. Renee Rao, Colleen Todd, Mark Libby. Yeah, nobody's running against them. Myrtle Point Health, Gerald Prickett, Pam Lewis, Tanya McWilliams. No one's running against them, so it doesn't matter. These people will all win. Powers Health, the only one it looked like that had a challenge was Jennifer Callahan, and that person withdrew. So, yeah. Doesn't matter. Then you've got, let's see, Powers Health. No one else is being challenged. Southern Coos Health. No one's being challenged. Bandon Fire. Nobody's challenging Mitch Vincent or Jeremy Casper. Nope. No one's challenging them. The Bridge Fire Department. No one's challenging those people. No one's challenging them then. And there's some positions. Let me show you this. No candidate filed. That means that position will either have to be written in, meaning that there will be people who will try to get that position by writing in their name, and they'll have their friends write in their name and they'll win that way. Or if it goes uncontested and nobody files or writes in for that position, then the board itself will appoint somebody to those positions. So it's not like nobody's going to be sitting in that chair. Somebody eventually will be sitting in that chair. Coquille Fire Department, nobody's running in those positions. It don't matter. Sikkim, same thing. It looks like all the fire departments. Look at this. Nobody's being challenged in the fire departments. That may be a good thing. Well, wait a minute. I take that back. Hauser, position 1. Angela Coleman is versus Dave Bowman. I wonder if Angela is related to Richard Coleman. Interesting. Let's check it out. Let's go see who Angela is. She's running for the Hauser Fire Department. Let's see. She's white. Look, she's white. Insurance agents with IMA. I have been in the insurance industry for almost 25 years, working mostly with commercial exposures, such as wildland firefighters, contractors, and non-profits. Depending on what her political ideology bent is, I don't know. She may be a good person. I don't know. Original member of the Coos County Certified Basic Training for Disaster Situations, also a certified trainer for the emergency response team for Coos County. Yeah. Okay. That is Angela Coleman, and she's taking on Dave Bowman. I'm going to have to find out who these people are in Hauser. How important is the Hauser Fire Department for you? He's retired. Coos County Assessor's Office. Okay, he went to State College, and he's not the greatest writer. But then again, neither are some of the most intelligent people out there. They just can't write worth a damn. So that was the only one in Hauser of all these fire departments. Look at this, all these fire departments right there. The only one that's getting challenged is Angela Coleman and Dave Bowman. Interesting. Continue to go on down here. Look at all these fire departments. No one's being challenged. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to talk to them. And look at all these positions where no candidates even filed. You come to the Millicoma River Park and Recreation. Is that Millicoma? Yeah, Millicoma. Must have had a brain fart there. Positions, nobody's being challenged. No candidates filed. Let's see. Oh, this is good. The water districts, no candidates filed for that. Nobody cares about water, I guess. No one's being challenged in Rink Creek water, Shelley Road, Crest Acres water. No. No one's being challenged there. No one's being challenged on the Bandon Cranberry water control. Old friend Scott Varick's running for that one. Yeah, it's not being challenged. Okay, none of these people are being challenged. The Kentucky Inlet Water Control, no one's being challenged, and no one's even filed. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting how this works out, because I'm going to have to contact the clerk to find out how these positions are filled by the remaining water board. But it seems like if you have this many, how could there be a quorum? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Sanitary positions. Once again, no one cares enough to challenge these people on the sanitary position. And Cameron Road, nobody's even filed. All right, folks, there you have it. I promised that I would go over the candidate list. I'm sorry that it's boring. But it has to be done. And we have to put this out there. And I guarantee you, next week, I will put out a list of all the candidates I'm supporting. Let's see. Let me get, looks like I had a few. Jeff Pete had a comment. He says, Phil and Chris have common sense. Oh, yeah, we already did. Peggy Rentz says, Robert Redford. And she's laughing. Yeah, I don't know. And Peggy Rent says, is that guy a loon? Mark Daly is a total loon. He's a total loon. That's why I like Mark. Like I said, it's, and I'm not talking bad about my friends. I think Mark knows he's kind of a loony person. I think he understands that. And he would admit to being he calls himself a progressive. I call himself a commie. But yeah, he would admit that he's a socialist. I'm pretty sure he would admit to that. So it's not like I'm saying anything bad about him. But enough with the elections. Damn, aren't you getting tired of that? I know I am. Let's see. So we got that to look forward to. And there's a lot more we're going to be campaigning on that. We're going to be running a few campaigns. And we're going to try to get some good people back into office. But there is a lot of shit going down. And I'm sure you've all seen this video. This is a video that has been played over and over again. But I kind of want to talk about it, and I want to show it to you.
César Eliseo Sortomaya.
All right. And that right there are people doing what we voted Trump in to do. And we have a district judge in one of the federal district courts. This is not a circuit court judge. This is not a Supreme Court judge. You've got a district judge who is making decisions for all of America when he decided to have those planes turned around. And luckily, he didn't have those planes turned around because the president said, "Screw you! They're in international air zone, so you can't turn around, you pissant judge." And the fact is that we have too many of these judges who are making these decisions unilaterally, just on their own, and they're destroying this nation from the inside out because these are the activist judge. And I've been going back and forth on this all weekend. I didn't want him to go through, when I say him, Donald Trump and his administration to go through the impeachment of this judge, because the natural progression in any lawsuit is the appellate. You appeal it to the circuit court, you move on and further up the court until you get the Supreme Court make a ruling on it. But this could take years to do. And we don't have years to get rid of the dirtbags that you just saw in that video. These are some of the worst of humankind. And this is why when they are taken to these prisons, and gosh, the country, now I can't even think of the name of the prison. It's not Venezuela. What is, if someone knows in the comments, please let me know. But yeah, they're taking them to this country in South America where they are locking them up in these high security prisons, and they're keeping them in cells where they're kept literally in these little cages. And it's a great thing because these people, they act like animals. And it's not because of the color of their skin or their ethnicity. It's because they act like animals. There are plenty of civilized people who live in those countries, and even those countries are tired of these animals. And we as Americans shouldn't have to deal with them because they came into our country illegally. They invaded our country. And then when you have a piece of crap district judge going over an elected president and making a ruling that stops a policy that he has a clear authority over, that is just absolutely frustrating. So I'm now back at, yeah, I guess impeachment really is the only way to do it, because right now there are over 600 district judges that are willing to put injunctions on all of the president's policies, basically freezing his ability to do his job and what we, the people, elected him to do. So maybe it would be good that he just impeaches this guy. Just go through impeachment. And I don't like it. I hate the idea, because if a judge gives you a bad decision, you just appeal it. That's just the way our legal system works. But at this point, I can understand the reasoning behind the Trump people who are going back and forth on this, because I'll tell you what, it's something that I've been having a little bit of problem with too. It just seems very, I don't know, very authoritarian when you have one branch of the government attacking another branch of the government over a political issue. But when you have a situation like this where he's overriding the president's authority, and I'm talking about the district judge, yeah, you just, yeah. You understand why they want to go through impeachment. Alex Bowser says, love that film. Keep it coming. How do you argue against common sense? Well, they find a way to do it every damn time, Alex. It's amazing how incredible they are at doing this. Let's see. Let's bring it back. Let's go do another Trump story here. Here was another Trump story. Let me make sure that I'm sharing this. Let me add this to the stage. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Reason Magazine. Reason Magazine is a libertarian magazine. They've been out for a long time. I'm a big fan of Reason magazine because they criticize both the right and the left. Okay, and I do the same thing as well. And Reason magazine, they actually agreed with the president. He says here in the latest article about the Department of Education, Trump and Congress have a right and a duty to kill the Department of Education. And I would fully agree with that. Trump has a duty. He has the authority to do it as well, as long as he works through Congress. The feds have no constitutional authorization to meddle in education. And I agree with Reason magazine on this. I don't always agree with Reason magazine, but on this one, they're completely right. And I want to read this first couple of articles from the first couple of paragraphs from this article, because I thought it was very revealing. It says, The Economist, Milton Friedman, wrote that nothing is so permanent as a temporary government program. It's true that once an agency is funded and fills its cubicles with bureaucrats, advocates treat its existence as a necessity, and any challenge to its continued existence is heresy, no matter how well the world carried on prior to its establishment or how poorly it has performed, which is exactly the Department of Education, the federal Department of Education. But we see a challenge to the usual rule in Donald Trump's executive order to wind down the federal Department of Education. Fully eliminating the useless 45-year-old bureaucracy will require an act of Congress, but there's good reason to believe the president has room to maneuver until then. And I would agree with him. Basically, I hate those filler words. I don't know why I use that word. But the president has the authority to gut the Department of Education, to get rid of as much as he can in the Department of Education, gut it, but he can't close it. He doesn't have the authority to eliminate the Department of Education. Why? Because the Department of Education was created in 1979 under the Carter administration by an act of Congress. Therefore, it will take an act of Congress to eliminate the Department of Education. Now, hopefully, the jackasses who are in Congress right now, and I call them jackasses because they refuse to do their job, they refuse to do the hard work it takes, and it's because none of them want to make difficult decisions that might make it hard for them to go back to their districts and get reelected. And remember, that's the job of a politician. Number one job is to get elected. Number two job, get reelected. That's the jobs of politicians. And so they don't like to do the hard job of closing down things like the Department of Education, because there's a lot of teachers union members out there who basically are funded off the Department of Education. It's their tool to use and promote their ideology and their agenda. And it's absolutely, completely disgusting. Wow, my screen just jumped. What the hell's going on here? Okay, nothing. All right, don't worry about that. But if the president can take that department down of all of its employees, take out all of the spending that is repetitive, is useless, superfluous. That was the word of the day, superfluous. All of that useless spending that's coming out of Department of Education, and get it to the point where it could give out those grants to the state itself, or even to regions inside the state. They were talking about that as well, because you know how some states will do well with the money and some states won't do so well. Like in Oregon, they will hire a blue-haired, monkey-faced leftist who is going to be promoting DEI in our school. That's all the money will do here in Oregon, is they're just going to hire a few more DEI nutcases to tell our children that they're all a bunch of racists and that they should have their weenies cut off. And that's not what we want this money spent on. So, So this is the best idea that any president has had. And this is why I support Donald Trump. He's actually going forward with this. And even Reason magazine, who has been very critical of the Trump administration, has given him kudos on this. I want to read the next paragraph out of this. It says, the Secretary of Education, let me go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me put back up the article so you guys can see it. And it says, the Secretary of Education shall, to the maximum extent appropriate and permitted by law, take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education and return authority over education to the states and local communities, while ensuring the effective and uninterrupted delivery of service, programs, and benefits on which Americans
I'm sorry, not interpreted, uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which Americans rely. Trump's March 20th order said in part after citing examples of the department's expenses and shortcomings. And this is where Linda McMahon, a woman who is, I'm not sure if he's a millionaire or a billionaire, but she owns the World Wrestling Federation, the World Wrestling entertainment industry. She doesn't need this job. And he knew this when he hired her. That's why he hired her. Most people would have put a bureaucrat back into this position, but not Trump because he's a smart man. And so what Trump has done, Trump has put in someone who doesn't need a job. It's just like Elon. Elon's got a lot of work to do. The man's a genius. He doesn't need this job. So he's the best person for the job because he's not going to make it his new career. He has no interest in making Doge his new career, no more than Linda McMahon is interested in being in charge of the Department of Education. She wants to get rid of the Department of Education, and Donald Trump was a genius by putting her in that position because he knew she's already got other stuff to do. I've got a lot of other stuff to do. Let's close this down. Let's mothball this whole thing. And I guarantee you, Linda McMahon has probably mothballed a lot of businesses throughout her time. I mean, her husband took over wrestling arenas and wrestling companies all over the United States to align them under the World Wrestling Federation, or WWE. I can't remember what they are now. I go back to the Von Erichs. I used to watch the Von Erichs wrestle in Dallas, Texas, at the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. Yes, we did. You would get the claw, the Von Erichs. He'd bring out the claw. That's my experience in professional wrestling. Love this stuff. But, anything past the 90s, I couldn't tell you who the characters are or what they were doing. But I do know who Linda McMahon is. And it was an incredibly smart choice for him to do that. I want to give some quick comments before I go on to my next story. Jeff B. said, why would any judge or person not want these thugs, illegal aliens, to get out? No shit, man. Why would SWAC, the board on SWAC, our college, our community college, why would they want a registered sex offender working with their kids? I mean, if you can answer that one, I'll try to answer this one. There is no rationale or reason to this. I know the judge thinks that he's preserving due process. These people have no due process rights as far as I'm concerned. Once you've come into the country illegally, we have every right to kick your ass out and send you home. There is no due process. You've lost your right to due process when you violated our right to come in the damn country. So goodbye. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. It's the same thing with SWAC. Why are you hiring a sex offender to work with children? And of course, the board will go, well, we want to give second chances to sex offenders. And once again, well, that's okay if he's working on cars, but if he's working with kids and he's a kid diddler, no second chances. So yeah, I don't know. Jeff B says Oregon will hire more turtles. Yes, that's the problem. We'll just hire more turtles. Good point, Jeff. Damn good point. Last week, let me continue with the national news. So Tesla has been, because we were just talking about Tesla, and like you and I are having a conversation. I was just talking about Tesla and how they're getting vandalized and how Elon Musk was a great hire because he has a career. He's rich. He's already going to go on to his new job. So let me share this story with you. Here we go. Share this tab. Tesla vandals face up to 20 years in prison, says Attorney General. Now, this is Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, and I really like Pam Bondi. I think she's going to do a great job. But she says, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said on Thursday that 3 defendants accused of vandalism targeting Elon Musk's Tesla electric vehicle company could face up to 20 years in prison. Bondi said the damage to Tesla cars, dealership, and charging station was domestic terrorism, and I agree with her. If it's done out of political protest, you're causing political violence, you're causing political damage for a political agenda. As far as I'm concerned, that's terrorism. Sure and utter terrorism. And so this is domestic terrorism because all these jackasses who did it were a bunch of domestic terrorists. The arrest and charges against 3 suspects were previously announced by prosecutors. Tesla dealerships across the country have been targeted in waves of protests, but also vandalism and arson attacks in response to Musk's influence over the Trump administration. I don't know how much influence he has over the administration. That just sounds like one of those red herrings that the leftists put out there because they want to scare you because this rich billionaire is going in and he may cut your Social Security. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're 300 years old and you're still getting Social Security, we may want to cut that. I don't know, but you better prove that you're legitimately 300 years old. I want to meet that person. And if you're black, we'll give you reparations for being a slave. I'll vote for that too. So that's just some of the things that are going on nationally. And I loved it because a friend of this show, a friend of ours, Savannah Guthrie, she was out there and she's just so adorable. I really love Savannah. Does an incredible job. And I have to give her kudos because this was a great video that she just put out.
Hey guys, this is Savannah Hernandez outside of the Tesla showroom in Austin, Texas. Now I'm holding a sign that says, "Thank you, Elon, buy more Teslas." And I came to hold this sign because there were protesters on the other side of this barrier. Craziest thing I've seen, this protest was supposed to be from 10 to noon. It is 12:15 and every single protester is gone. Okay, so they had lined up here, they were back here. They're all gone. Like, so quickly. I don't think I've ever seen protesters leave that fast. Despite them being gone, I'm still here to support Elon Musk and support Tesla because I'm quite frankly tired of domestic terrorists across this nation coming and firebombing these dealerships, destroying people's private property, aka their Teslas, and using violence and intimidation to try to silence people. So it's very important that we stand up for Elon, for Tesla, and American business that has created countless American jobs. And of course, this administration, you know what, maybe we go to more of these protests and simply hold up the sign that says, "Buy more Teslas, we support Elon Musk," to show that the vast majority of Americans do support him, do support what is happening in the United States right now, which is why Donald Trump and his admin were given the mandate.
Doesn't she rock? Doesn't she kick ass? And I agree with her. I think that these are once again paid protesters who are going out there to cause this violence. And I do think that the violence that's been committed against Tesla, if you can find an email chain or some kind of communique between the people of the different states where the different Teslas were attacked and find out that it's coordinated, wouldn't that hit for a RICO statute? I mean, you could put these people away for a long time if you find out how well coordinated this was. And I'm just willing to bet it was very well coordinated. It just seems strange it would all happen on the same day around the same time. Yeah, that's just like Sav was saying. Savannah, you know, isn't she just cute? I just really enjoy listening to her because she's just so hard hitting. I mean, I just dig that in a chick. You know what I mean? There's so many people out there who they're just so worried about hurting your feelings. And so Sav, she just doesn't give a damn. And I just love that about her. And so, yeah, we'll continue with a lot. We're always going to follow her. She's really good at what she does. Alex, he has a comment here. He says, you only have to ask these Marxists one question. Where has it worked? And that's exactly it. Marxism has been tried 1,000 different ways in 100 different places. And I don't know anywhere where it has actually worked. Now, last week, on my show, I was talking about a story where there was a bill that put people of different ethnicities above white people for the school grant program, the summer school grant program. And of course, within a couple of days of me reporting that story, other people were reporting that story. And it was such a horrendous thing that they were using race-based criteria to hand out these grants that they're now trying to fix it. So the Dems are fast tracking a bill removing race from summer school grant criteria. And it says the Oregon Roundup exclusively reported on race-based criteria Saturday. Bill to remove criteria introduced by Speaker day after Roundup sought comment from Education Department hearings set for tomorrow. Now they give the wording of the bill where they're changing the wording in it. And then it says right here, the Oregon House of Representatives. Let me make sure I'm still sharing this. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, it says the Oregon House of Representatives is fast tracking a bill to remove student racial criteria from the state's summer grant program days after Oregon Roundup exclusively reported the Oregon Department of Education's use of those constitutionally dubious criteria to prioritize $30 million in grant funding last year because it's racism. Let's just say it. It's downright racism. It's anti-white hatred as far as you can go. But this bill, the bill removing racial criteria, HB20007, was introduced by House Speaker Julie Fahey, Representative Rick Ruiz, and Senator Janine Sullivan, Democrats, all on March 13th, the day after Oregon Roundup first reached out via email to 4 ODE staff members for comment on the program's racial criteria. And one of the things that I found out, and I went to this before, and let me share this page. I went to the bill that was originally, remember this last week? I went to this bill and you had a lot of Republicans supporting this. You had Mannix supporting this. You had Boomer Wright supporting this. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What the hell's the matter with you freaking Republicans? Even Kim Thatcher voted for this bill. And of course, David Brock Smith voted for it because he's all about the DEI. I know he says he's not, but that's his voting record belies that fact. So you can see it right here. It's a sad state of affairs that Oregon Roundup. I believe they're Republican allies who are reporting on this stuff. So if you noticed in that story that I just reported, they kind of left out the Republicans who voted for the bill overwhelmingly. And look, I show you guys all the time how you can find this stuff out. You go down to the measures history right here, and you can go down. Let's see. And you can find out, let's see what the senators are, the senators who voted for it. And let's see who voted against it, because that's easier to go over. Boquist voted against it. Bonham voted against it. Lithicum voted against it. And Robinson voted against it. 4 of the Republicans in the Senate voted against it. Normally, Thatcher would have been along with these people. So I don't know why she voted for this. And of course, Davey Smith, he says he's a Republican, but then he always votes for these DEI bills. And so I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But that just goes to show you, once again, here we have racism, clear racism, and based on DEI policies, and you got Republicans voting for it. And then you have the article. Let me share the article then right now, again, from Oregon Roundup. And they don't mention all the Republicans who voted for it. But if you go down here to where the bill that they were talking about, HB2007, they also have that highlighted or linked. So let's go to HB2007. And of course, Fahey, Ruiz, and Sullivan are the only ones who joined in on creating this bill. That was the fix it. And there's a public hearing held. There's a work session held. So this bill is moving forward, it looks like. Let's see. Scheduled events. Is it scheduled for anything coming up? It's currently not scheduled for anything. So who knows if this is even going to pass? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where this bill sits right now. There was a work session held. Let's see, do pass with amendments and be referred to Ways and Means. So this bill is off to Ways and Means. And once again, we don't have a vote on it. So we don't know who's voting for it and voting against it. But I can guarantee you I'll be keeping up on this. And I'm going to let you all know what the hell's happening in the Oregon legislature. And if the Republicans are screwing up, I'm going to let you know all about it because, well, you know, that's kind of what I do. Let's see. I wanted to get back to some of the things that have been happening in Oregon, not just Oregon, but in the legislature. Let me see if I can get that back up here. Let me remove that. You can still testify against House Bill 3075. Just go back to the legislature, Ole's, type in HB 3075 for this session. And there is a place where you can submit testimony. I highly recommend that you do because this is going to end gun sales. This is going to end gun sales in Oregon. And they've got another work session coming up. I forget which it is, but we're going to find out more about that. And I'll be keeping, I'll let you know how that goes because we need to stop this bill. And House Bill 3166 is open for primaries and for ranked choice voting. We got to stop this bill. This is another one that you can contact your legislators and give testimony on. Well, that's pretty much what I had to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed most of it. It's just some of the things I'm doing. I got to show you a commercial here. It's one of my favorite commercials. Oh, shit. I just lost it. Tell me, you guys ever heard of these people? All right. That was 3H Tree Service. Very proud to have them as sponsors. It's a veteran-owned business. Matt Holman, he's a veteran. His dad, Dennis Holman, is a veteran. I believe his dad fought in the Vietnam War. Badass dude. Yeah, you 16-year-olds walk around today in their gang-banging outfit thinking they're all tough. No, you know who was tough? Your grandfather. Your grandfather who fought in World War II or in Korea or in Vietnam. They were badass. At 18, they were badass. They were doing shit you probably would be crapping your pants over right now. These were men's men who did the job that people had to do back then. And well, lucky for us, Dennis Holman made it out of Vietnam, and he's part of 3H Tree Service. And there's a lot of people out there. I saw this video. There's so many people who are just walking around so entitled. And, we were just talking about those Tesla protesters. I've been doing protests for probably about 35 years now. Damn, I'm old. Freaking A, I'm old. And I've been doing protests, and I think my largest protest, we had about 3,000 people. We filled up several city blocks in the city of Albuquerque. It was a huge protest. And not once did we set a building on fire. We didn't stop traffic. In fact, some people tried to stop traffic, and I'd always have a couple of people to rein those people back in on the sidewalk. And when we got to the crosswalk, we would have people escort everyone over the crosswalk. When the light changed, we would stop, and then we would have the cars go. And then when the light came back on, we could cross again. We would have another group of people cross. And that would happen during our protest. And when you have 3,000 people, that takes a little bit of time to get 3,000 people through over the crosswalk when you're having to wait for the stoplights. We did it properly back then, and it was something that I demanded, and the people that I worked with demanded, because we didn't want to be seen as thugs. We didn't want to be seen as people who had such little respect for property rights that we would be willing to destroy property. And that's what these Tesla vandals don't understand. They want to have their rights, but they're not willing to give it to others. That's the worst thing about communists. And this reminded me of this video I saw, and I want to play this for you, about this young lady from a college. And look at it and tell me if you see some people in her that you know, and the way they behave is very similar to the way this person behaves.
Come on!
I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want.
Come on! He told you to stop.
Hold up.
It's right there.
And what?
All right. So what just occurred?
He's making me mad.
Okay. Did you damage his sign?
I have it on video.
No.
I can see that you guys have it on video.
All right. Do you have an ID on you?
Yes.
All right. Violation of student policy.
7. The team got like 0.7.
So what's gonna happen?
One's up to 1.5 million views.
After good behavior, 6 months in community service, the judge will drop it.
I am a full-time student. I'm coming back here in the summertime.
Nope. Next time you'll think not to do it.
So what he was marking out on, I still have him on the 1031B.
Dude, like you can't find any like peace in your heart and understanding. For
I will tell the judge.
Please,
Yeah,
sir, please.
I will tell the judge, and he'll drop the charges after 6 months and you do community service.
It really does cause a damper in my studies in my future, though.
No,
Don't you think?
what I wanted to do.
Don't you think it kind of gets in the way of like me growing and becoming as an individual? Like I still have yet to learn. Maybe one day I'll change my mind.
It's a teachable moment.
What is a teachable moment?
Right now.
You don't offer like second chances, redemption.
It's too late now. I mean, seriously.
It's not too late.
No, it is.
It's
No,
not too late. It's actually not too late.
You had a chance not to do what you did.
I love that look on her face because she knows the officer was absolutely right. You had a chance not to do what you did, just like those Tesla drivers. I couldn't find the picture of the one Tesla drivers, the Tesla vandals. I couldn't find a picture of the one Tesla vandal that was crying in his mugshot. I love that. I love that. You're a big badass terrorist, domestic terrorist. You're going to go out there and you're going to dress in black. You're going to put the mask on. You're going to have the Molotov cocktails. You're going to be loaded for bear. You're badass out there. And as soon as they bust you, you cry during the mugshot. What a filthy, dirty pussy. And what a coward for destroying other people's property. But that's what these entitled college kids think they were doing. And I believe if I'm correct, it was a college kid who was one of the ones arrested for the Tesla damage that was done to the property there. And this lady also damaged property. She damaged some guy's sign. And of course, she talks about a second chance. But did you see her once apologize to the guy whose sign she damaged? Did you see anywhere where she said, oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'll make the sign for you. I'll make you a couple of signs. I will make up for what I've done. Nothing of finding that way to redeem herself. No way to redeem herself. What she wanted was a second chance. I'm not going to redeem myself. I'm not going to apologize. But can I get a second chance, officer? What the hell is the matter with these people? This is the problem with this country, is that you got so many damn people who think they can walk up to others and destroy their property and then take the excuse that, well, he just pissed me off. And because I got my feelings hurt, I'm privileged and I can do whatever I want. I can destroy a Tesla dealership. I can destroy someone's political sign. I can damage their vehicle. And I can tell you what, that was never what I was ever about, because I and many of the people I know, we are property rights advocates. We would sooner go to jail before we would allow someone to destroy someone else's property. And in fact, that's what happened to me just recently, last show that I was on. You know how I tell you people, don't be a cuck, take your neighborhood back? Don't be a cuck. Don't be a cuck. Last week, this was a beautiful thing. You know how I have a thing about these people who steal shopping carts, especially since I live right behind Ray's supermarket. And I've probably have retrieved about a dozen shopping carts. In fact, not only have I retrieved it, I've actually been able to make people take the shopping cart back themselves. I've walked behind them as they've taken the shopping cart back, had to take all their stuff out of the shopping cart and leave and go on their merry way. Well, that was happening last week. And if you remember, last week was what? It was St. Patrick's Day. I had a St. Patrick's Day dinner to get to, which was at the Coach House. And by the way, what a magnificent steak that was at the Coach House. Good stuff. Really enjoy it. But I was late to my date at the Coach House. And so I was getting ready after the show, and I noticed out in front, there was a guy with a shopping cart, and he was walking down the street. So I immediately, my instinct jumps in, because I'm not a cuck. I'm going to take back my neighborhood. I'm not going to let these criminals walk all over me. And that's what they're doing when they steal these shopping carts, because and you have to pay for it. I don't want to pay for these pieces of trash. So I run out there and I grab the shopping cart and I said, hey, what are you doing, man? You need to take this back. This belongs to the store. And he said, no, man, they gave me permission to do it. Well, I know that was a lie. I've already talked to the managers of every single store up at Ray's Shopping Center. I've talked to the manager of Dollar General. And not only of that, I've talked to the home office for Ray's Shopping Market and for the Dollar General. And all of them have told me nobody has permission to take shopping carts off the parking lot. Nobody. And nobody has the authority in their business to give permission to take shopping carts off of the parking lot. I know this. I've already checked this out. So I knew this guy was lying when he said that. And I called him out on it and he took a swing at me. The guy actually took a swing at me. Now, this is an drunken old homeless dude, probably an old criminal. I'd be willing to bet, put it out there. I would willing to bet if we did a record search on this guy, he's a pedophile. I almost all of them are. And so he took a swing at me. And of course, he was so slow at taking this swing. I just did this. I just eased back about 6 inches and he missed me. And at that point in time, any man, your natural response is to come back with a roundhouse and deck the son of a bitch and then crush his head in with stomping on him at the time, and that's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to just knock the shit out of him, but I didn't want to get in trouble and I didn't have any time. So I thought, okay, all right, asshole, I don't want to escalate the situation. And this is where this is important because I tell you, don't be a cuck, but you don't have to be a badass. You don't have to be someone who you don't even have to go out in your front yard because this is what I did. I went to grab for my phone. I didn't have the phone. So I went into the house, grabbed my phone. And by this time he's made it around the corner and he was heading for Wilson's Market. And I knew where he was going. So I got in my car. I called the abandoned police, which was excellent. The abandoned police respond right away. And they said, what's the problem? I told him the problem. I told the description of the guy. I gave him my name, my number, my birth date. And then I went over to Wilson's Market where I just lived 30 seconds away. And it didn't take me but 30 seconds to get there. And when I'm pulling up to Wilson's Market, the cop was already pulling up to Wilson Market too. And I get out of the car and of course I'm pissed off. I'm yelling and I'm hollering about this son of a bitch being a crook. And I'm tired of them stealing our shopping carts. And I don't know who the police officer was. I've seen him before. I just forget his name offhand. And he's a really good guy. And I stopped yelling for a second. And I said, I want to apologize. I don't mean to take this out on you. I'm just tired of these pieces of crap stealing these carts and driving up the cost of our groceries. And the cop goes, I totally agree with you. Thank you, sir. And he went inside, he talked to the guy and he got the cart back to the shopping store. And at the meantime, I had already left because after dealing with the cop, telling him what the situation was, I knew he was going to deal with it because that's how bandit cops are. They're good people. And I went on my merry way. But the whole point of me telling this story is that you don't have to be a badass to take back your neighborhood. You don't have to be like Rob from Base and Tackle and go out there with an axe handle and threaten to basically crush in some skulls if you don't submit to stopping your criminal spree or whatever the hell you're doing that he's having to go after you with. And you don't have to be like me. You don't have to physically go out there and grab the shopping carts and risk some guy punching at you. And it's happened a couple of times where they've tried to hit. I don't know. I'm very lucky. I'm pretty good at dodging the swing. And so far I've been pretty lucky on that, but you don't have to do that. All the person would have had to do was to see that person who was walking down my street with a shopping cart. All they would have had to do was call the abandoned police and they would have taken care of it. And that's what you do to take back your neighborhood. So when I say don't be a cuck, take your neighborhood back, that doesn't mean you have to go outside with an axe handle and do battle. That means that you have to be alert, that you may want to take a walk once in a while from one corner to the other corner of your block and find out what's going on. And if you see something, say something and report it. Report these people. You pay taxes. I pay taxes. We have every right to report these crimes. And some of us, we're going to take it a little bit further and we're going to go out there and we're actually going to seize this stolen property. We're actually going to kick people off of private property. Most of the times when I've had these interactions, I've never even had to call the police because I've settled it myself. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to be some kind of superhero or badass or be like, Doug Washington with your axe handle, even though I love that. I really love that axe handle. Make axe handles great again. You just have to be alert And that's what we're asking people. Be alert. Report things when you see them and don't take shit. If you see someone's taking a shopping cart, follow them, make the phone call to the police and turn them in. You see people stealing in the store, don't tolerate it. Don't look the other way or think, oh, well, I don't want to get involved. Do something about it. Why? Because you don't want to be a cuck. Don't be a cuck. Take your neighborhood back, damn it. And if you can't, then you don't even deserve to live in a neighborhood. You deserve to live in a cave. That's right. If you can't take the time to take your neighborhood back, then you deserve what you get. And I know a lot of good people out there with good hearts. There are a lot of elderly people who certainly couldn't get physical with these criminals, but they're doing a hell of a job of making sure the police know who's where and what they're doing. You're damn right. And so I'm very glad that we got people out there watching this and taking care of this business, because it's just bullshit that these people are allowed to do whatever they're allowed to do. Alex Bowser, he says, band and bums know the police here will not bother them. Woke police are joke police. Listen to BPD on your scanner. Yeah. Sometimes, Alex, that's absolutely true. It's not that the bandit police won't do anything. There's very little they can do because the law is on the side of the criminals. And if the bandit police do something about it, they'll get sued, and you and I, the taxpayer, will pay for it. And we're not going to be too happy with the cops when they cause us and cost us more money. We're not going to be too happy with the cops. So I don't blame the cops for being woke. I know we have a police chief who tries to minimize sometimes. I shouldn't say sometimes. He does try to minimize what the homeless are doing. But I've also seen him take care of the homeless problem. And like I said, that day when the bandit police showed up, they took care of the situation. They took the basket back. I don't know if they wrote a citation to the guy who was doing it. But I do know he went in and talked to him, and he got the basket back to the rightful owner. And so that's all we're asking. And Alex, I'm just as mad at the situation as well, but let's place blame where blame belongs. And that's on the legislature, who has sabotaged the justice system. It's just a clear fact. They have sabotaged the justice system. They're not putting people in jail anymore. We just had we just had a piece of crap who murdered somebody. 4 or 5 other people were hurt, and I think he got 6 years for the murder. He pleaded down to manslaughter. And I can tell you, we could pass all the tax levies we want. They could be flush with money at the Coos County Sheriff's Department. But if this is the type of leniency they're going to show for these criminals, then it doesn't matter how much money we give them. And so you've got legislators who are passing laws that benefit the criminals to the detriment of the honest citizen. Yeah, that's a huge problem. So yeah, I agree with you, Alex. I'm not happy with everything the band and police do, but I'll tell you what, they do show up a lot of the times. For me, I have had them come and take care of the situation. So I give them credit where credit's due, because, well, that's just the kind of guy I am. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Let's see, 3H Tree Service. I just showed you the commercial, and like I said, they're a veteran-owned company, a family-owned company. And if you need to take out those trees, this is the place to call. 541-294-1800. They can remove those trees with surgical precision. They can, and they can do all kinds of micro logging. They can take care of all those problem trees. You got a tree that's a liability, they come in and they remove the branches with surgical precision, and they take it all out. They clean it up. You didn't even know they were there, and they leave a beautiful view in return. 3H Tree Service, highly recommend them. And Tim over at Tom and Gigs, he's a big sponsor of mine. Him and Shanna, they do a great job. I don't know what happened to Tim today. I sent him my number. I don't know why he didn't come on. But this is Tom and Gigs, 135 South Shoneman Street, for all your automotive needs. They can take care of all your automotive needs. If you need shocks, struts, muffler, you need to get that car aligned, you need to have that car checked out because you want to go traveling this summer, Tom and Gigs is the place to go. And they are the leading RC dealership in the South Coast. Those remote control cars, they got a huge selection over there. And I'll tell you what, they've got parts for all of those cars. It's beautiful stuff. 135 South Shoneman Street, behind the car wash in the Empire neighborhood. And if you know where the Empire neighborhood is, well, then you know where the car wash is. And of course, Herbal Choices for all your herbal needs, for all your cannabis needs, Herbal Choices. And remember, on Wednesdays, you get a discount on certain edibles. I think they call it Wild Wednesday for the wild edibles. That's just what I hear. And you can find out more at the herbalchoices.com website. That's the herbalchoices.com website. And remember, you must be 21 years or older to enter the store, because that's the law. And it's a beautiful place. They got 5 stores. They got 5 stores here in Coos County and one up in Reedsport. They got one in Reedsport, one in Charleston, one in Coos Bay, one in Bandon, and one in North Bend for all your herbal needs, Herbal Choices. And of course, Oregon Firearms Federation. I can tell you right now, I'm really worried about the Oregon Firearms Federation. They've been hit pretty hard by a lot of legal fees, and they've lost the case where they not only have to pay for their own lawyer, they may have to pay for the lawyer of the opposition. And we're talking couple of hundreds of thousands of dollars. They could really use your support right now. And Oregon Firearms Federation, if you're a gun owner, you know they've been here for 30 years. Over 30 years supporting your gun rights, supporting the Second Amendment. And they've been doing a hell of a lot more than any of the Republicans. They've been doing a hell of a lot more than any other group in Oregon. They're the only no compromise gun group, OregonFirearms.org. I would ask you, if you have extra money and if you can help fund some of the legal woes over at Oregon Firearms Federation, they could really use it. We need this organization. This is the only no compromise gun organization in Oregon. We must and maintain the Oregon Firearms Federation. And I ask you, please give deep if you can. Very good group. Kevin Starrett, he does a great job at managing the money and running the organization. They do need help. Nicole Taylor says, that's right, help off. I agree with you, Nicole. Help off. They need all the help they can get. They're not my sponsors, but I like to promote them. Bandon Gun Club. If you want to go and practice your firearm skills, go to bandongunclub.org and find out more about that organization. Or you can go to Taiga Sports Park, run by Taiga Sports Park Association, and you can find out more at their website at taigasportspark.org. They're run by volunteers. So go to the website before you go out there, because they may not be open, because they may not have anyone volunteering to run the range. So find out more, and you can find out more at their website, taigasportspark.org. And of course, they're not my sponsors. These are my friends. Coos County Neighborhood Watch. A lot of good people on there. A lot of good people. There are people out there active right now. In fact, if you go to Coos County Neighborhood Watch, Samuel Adams, he's a good friend of mine. Samuel Adams put out a new video about a homeless woman who was once again camping on land she shouldn't have been camping on. They just do incredible videos out there. There are people who are actually patrolling the streets of Coos County, not just in North Bend, not just in Coos Bay, not just in the Empire neighborhood, but all over the county. We've got people who are out there and active and basically maintaining a list of all the criminals and what those criminals are doing. And they're so good. We've got pictures of criminals we wouldn't have because they don't allow the mugshots out until after they've been convicted. So we've got pictures of criminals that most people wouldn't know because we took the pictures ourselves. And I want to thank all the people who are out there getting those pictures, getting that information, and putting it on Coos County Neighborhood Watch, which is a Facebook page. So I recommend if you go on Facebook, go to Coos County Neighborhood Watch and check out their group. Very excellent people. And Citizen Council, this was the Lakeside. This wasn't the interview one. Chris Castleman just interviewed the mayor of Lakeside, and he has that on another video. But you can go to the Coos County Citizen Council. That's another Facebook page. He does great work. He's got a couple of videos out there that I think you would really enjoy. does a lot of the similar things that I'm doing here. Let's see. Well, that was it for the announcements, but I've got to get back to some comments because Alex had some comments and I wanted to go to what he said. Yeah, so Alex says the Bandon police have a policy given them by the city council. Yes, that policy was given to them by the city council. And who forced the city to create that policy? The Oregon legislature. So you can be mad at the city council as much as you want, but it's the Oregon legislature who's telling them that if they don't pass these laws, that the city can face lawsuits. So in essence, it's not an unfunded mandate. It's just a mandate forced on the cities through legislation. And so the city of Bandon, not wanting to get sued because they know we'll lose in Oregon. And who's going to have to pay for that lawsuit, Alex? Well, you and I are going to have to pay for that because we're the taxpayers of Bandon. So we don't want to get sued. We don't want to give up any of our money, even though it would be a rightful fight. It's not a rightful fight to walk into a slaughterhouse, to walk into a firing squad, to walk into a buzzsaw. And that's what we'd be doing to challenging this in Oregon courts. And you can't take it to the Supreme Court because it's not an issue of constitutionality. It's an issue based on Oregon law. And so Oregon, unfortunately, is in a quagmire right now where the cities have to obey the crazy legislation that's coming out of Salem. And Alex says, let me put this up, who hires the police chief? Well, I'll tell you, the city hires the police chief. Corey Dillon was hired by the city. And yes, I'm not always happy with some of Corey's response, but I also know Corey is a good man and that you may not know some of the things that he is doing to fight some of the criminal homelessness that's going on. So I know you're a little upset with him, and I totally understand that. Maybe you and I will have to have a talk sometime because there are things that are going on that I just don't want to make public right now. And there are reasons why, and I'd have to talk to you privately to discuss that. Peggy Rents says they did our property 3H. Yeah, Peggy, I bet they did. 3H came out, and I bet you they did a wonderful job. Let's see. It says Tim took care of Roger's Jeep. Oh, that's not surprising. That doesn't surprise me at all. Alex says, agree, Rob. Yeah, once again, there's more to the story I'd love to talk to you about. Maybe one of these days we'll have to go out and have coffee and something and talk more about this because there are things going on that I just can't discuss. Okay. Yeah, they're borderline things. And so that's unfortunate, the world we live in. But that's what happens when you have a legislature who doesn't mind passing laws that makes us criminals. When House Bill 3075 passes, all of us who have purchased magazines who carry more than 10 rounds, we're going to be criminals if we purchase those magazines since the law was originally passed. And I know I've purchased magazines since then. And just by that sheer fact, when this law becomes law, HB 3075, and I'm willing to bet it will, good chance it will, we're going to be criminals. And I'm sick of being a criminal when I haven't done a damn thing. And I'm sick of watching criminals get away with committing crimes when they've done the worst of things. The world is upside down, and I really don't know how to realign it. I wish I could. I wish there was a magic pill, but we're just going to keep fighting it. And if we have to do things that are a little shady, that are a little illegal but not immoral, so be it. That's the life we're going to live in Oregon. And if you're a true patriot, you've got to realize there comes a consequences to real patriotism. And I'm not talking about the people who go out and destroy Tesla dealerships because they're mad at Elon Musk. That's not patriotism. That's not standing up for anything other than throwing a temper tantrum violently. No, there are people like us who are standing up for true property rights, who are standing up for the real patriots of this country, the morality of this country, saving this country for future generations. And I got a stake in that. I got a kid and I got a grandkid, and I know many of you do too. So I hope you hang in there. Before I get out of here, I do have to Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. Planning for the future of our park. You're going to love this, Alex. The city wants to spend a buttload of your money and my money on, the parks. And this 28th, March 28th, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the Barn Community Center, they're going to be having basically a town hall on the future of planning for our parks. And I think I'm going to attend because I love to find out how much money they're going to waste. You know, at this point, I would privatize the parks. Yeah. And then I would charge people to enter the parks. And then you would find the parks would be kept much better and you would have a lot more things to do. Just my opinion. Yeah, I wanted to put that out there because I know a lot of people from Bandon watch this show, and this is happening in just a couple of days, March 28th. Well, let's see. What is that? What is March 28th? That would be a Friday night from 5 to 7. Yeah, I'll be doing a Friday night rant. I was sick this past weekend. I wasn't able to do a Friday night rant, which was really cool because I had some really cool guests. I finally get some cool guests for the rant, and then I get sick. That's right. They'll be coming back. I've got the Black Redneck coming on. Ronnie Daniels, an old friend of mine, is going to be coming on here. The Black Redneck. Yeah, he's a Bronco buster from Eastern Oregon. This is a great guy. He's going to come in, and we're going to have Marty on the show, and we're going to be discussing the legislature. It's going to be one hell of a time. So join us for Friday night. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a blast, and I'm going to be able to give you an update on this meeting right here. Yeah, this meeting right here with the abandoned people who want to spend our money. Yeah, they always want to spend our money. They're money spenders is what they are. Well, okay, enough of that. I want to thank you all for joining me. It's been a wonderful. Join me next Monday. I think I've got a really cool guest. I can't announce it because it's only tentative. Yeah, next Monday should be a really good show. I'm going to probably have a taped interview and do the live show all at the same time. It's going to be cool. You'll like it. Tune in. And I will see you all next week. And until then, you know what I always say? Carry on, Coos County. Carry on.
Yeah.